forgot that I was doing the introduction. Hello. Hi, welcome to Careful Cantrip. Dave is not here tonight, so I'm talking me, Rayna. We have some fun guests with us tonight. I know I was going to talk about it after, and I told them I was going to do it later, but I feel like we should say hi to everybody. So I just want to say we have wonderful Jess and Bobby with us, as usual.
Hey.
And
hello.
We also have special guest, Dead Aussie Gamer. Woo! Cue fun. Woo! Dag, do you want to say anything?
I would like to say 3 words. I would like to say hello, potato, and egregious. These are the words I would like to say. Thank you.
Well played. That was an
well done.
Potato. Hello.
Okay, and next up we have our wonderful and brave DM, Robert Hartley, tonight.
It's me.
Yay!
Hello. I've got big shoes. Well, I've got shoes. I've got tiny shoes. I've got little shoes to fill. So thankfully, I have 3 big feet and a big ego to match. So I should be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I'm a professional dungeon master. I do Dungeons and Dragons for a living, which is still bizarre to say. You can find me by searching my name, Robert Hartley, GM, in all the places.
Yeah, maybe we can get a shout out in chat to Dead Aussie Gamer. You should follow him also on Twitch and follow Rob on Twitch. If someone can put that shout out in chat for me, that'd be fantastic. Also, thank you to all the bits and subs. Thank you, Cotton Candy Unicorn. Awesome name, love it. Thank you, Rowdy. I'm seeing some BFF redemptions. I'm scrolling, making sure I don't miss anything.
If Powers had some.
Do you have Powers? Thank you. We're redeeming the I Love Tacos. It's great. Love it. Okay. We're not doing the Oven Glove redemption. Rob, sorry. Okay. Thank you to everyone else. Anyone that I missed, I'm so sorry. I am scrolling through my Rayna account. I'm not on the CC account today. So with that said, we are going to do our careful creations. Last week I was voluntold. Well, I really volunteered, to be honest. So we're going to do our careful creations. I created a fun stat block. That's what I did. So I need chat to roll me a D20 to, Bobby's going to run the random voice generator. So this will be fun. First number that we see in chat, Bobby will use just ! Thanks, Crimson. A 20. Shoot.
So nat 20. Wow.
I think that's the drunk town guard, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think you should do the drunk. But
I do not want to.
I'm sure nat 20 was drunk.
So if you know one in particular, if not, I could pick one for you, and
I have the sheet up, so I do not want to do town drunk. I did Valley Girl last week. Oh no.
Oh my God.
What do we have left?
hit them with the Susie.
The Susie? Okay. I feel like it'd be funnier if someone else did that, but okay, I'll do Susie's voice. All right, so unfortunately we don't have any visual aids for you tonight, but my stop work is shit. Swiss Damon, a medium demon, chaotic neutral. The Swiss Damon feels no attachment to anything but chaos itself. He is just as likely to hug you or stab you, whichever is less appropriate in that exact moment. He can go from one to the other in any order with little to no warning. If you take more than 25 seconds discussing strategy, you must make a strength saving throw of at least 21. Swiss Damon, what is responsible or advisable or previously discussed and or agreed upon. Upon a successful save, the party takes 10d10 troll damage. His only weakness is fate itself.
It's a high pitch voice when your microphone's gate can't even pick up half of it.
Shit. Was it
I know.
yeah.
Amazing
Okay.
work.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's like I was listening to like alien opera. It was like so much vibrato.
Oh yes, it's a super special voice that people love to hate. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to World Anvil. I'm sorry to chat. And I guess also
Sorry, World Anvil.
Yeah, sorry, World Anvil. I don't know.
I'd like an apology.
Sorry, Jess.
Thank you.
What do I need to say? I need to say that if you use the code Careful Cantrip, you can get 40% off of any 12-month subscription with World Anvil. With that, I'm going to switch it over to Bobby to talk about our fantastical giveaway tonight.
What's up, goobers? Listen, we have another giveaway from our good friends at Mithril Armory. It's going to be a t-shirt of your choice from their website. So if you want to be entered to win, ! Roll in the chat, and you'll be entered to win. We'll do the giveaway at the end of the episode, so be sure to stick around for it.
Which role is that? Role is a homonym. Which is it? R-O-L-L? R-O-L-E?
R-O-L-L. Thanks for that. And if you don't win, don't worry, because you can use our code Careful for 10% off of anything in their store. So, or you can do both. Double up on your winnings. Back to you.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to swing it right over to Rob.
Hello. Hi. I'm in charge now.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. So I believe we're ready to begin, right? So any last minutes, any last things that we need to say?
I love you.
Prayers.
Well, I feel fond about you.
Voracious.
We might get there. Thank you, Seamus and the Killer Cuddy. All right, we will jump into it after this intro. It is twilight, particularly dusk. Even through the twilight night sky, you can see that the colors of the grass on this perfectly manicured lawn are vibrant, saturated green. The lawn stands before a very nice house, a house that screams that this person has at least some wealth. Coming up to the fence from the street side, there is a dark figure. And as this dark figure lowers their hooded robe, you see that their horns are goat-like and curl back over the top of the head. They have a goatee beard and wear an open cloak with a bare chest, displaying their very muscular but furry body. The camera sort of zooms out far enough to see that they have little goat legs on the bottom, and we realize that this creature is a satyr. From their movement as they approach the gate, it is clear that they are not trying to be seen. They bend and then jump, and in a squatted leap of their goat legs, they land on the other side of the gate without opening it, without making a noise. There is a slight stir from off to the left, and the camera reveals two dogs sleeping on the lawn, leashed to a stake that has been makeshift posted into the ground. The satyr mutters to himself, "They shouldn't be a problem." And then he puts his hand inside his little vest jacket and brings out some panpipes. He plays a little ditty on it, and the shadows seem to cling to him, obscuring his movement up the garden path. He approaches the front door, and with another little ditty on his panpipes, there is a click of the door lock, and the door swings open. He enters the home and it is clear that the person inside is not around right now, just as he wants it. He takes a moment to look at the portraits that are painted on the walls. A man and a woman, both fairies. He smiles and says, "Well, I would say this'll teach you to pay your debts, but you won't be around." He walks over to the kitchen and starts to finger along the knife block, choosing his weapon. As he pulls one out, a thin paring knife, there is a voice behind him says, "Wrong one." He spins around just as a puff of pixie dust hits him in the face, and as the glitter enters his eyes, his eyelids begin to droop immediately. The last things he ever says is, "Oh, damn it," as he falls forwards with a soft thud. The focus is pulled from his body on the kitchen floor to the knife block as a hand reaches in and draws out another weapon. And then we fade to black as the titles come up. FeyTality. As the titles fade out, let's start with Regina. Regina, where are you in this moment? Where are you? Where does the camera meet you? What is your morning routine?
Regina would be waking up from bed. So you see like an older lady with like a big poofy like face mask, and she'll like yawn, and she's in a very luxurious room with some sheets, and she'll ring a little bell for some servants.
And the servants come to the door and they knock and wait for your admission to the room, and they bring in a little silver tea tray with some morning breakfast on it. I say morning, but obviously here in the Feywild, it is considered cycles rather than mornings and days per se. You are constantly in a state of dusk, so the time is passing through the cycles of the moon instead. And so at the beginning of this new cycle, they bring in your morning food. What are you eating? What's Regina's go-to breakfast?
She'll have some tea and crumpets, and she'll say, "Thank you, darling. Do you have any messages?"
Just the one, unfortunately. The it can wait. It's not exactly a pleasant topic.
Oh God, what now?
It's just that the Archfey, the Blue Tune has been in touch and says that she would like to see you at your earliest convenience. You would know that the Blue Tune is an Archfey whom you somewhat work for. You sort of more on a freelance kind of a job, but you've often worked for her. She's not exactly a pleasant woman.
Oh God, well, she'll have to wait. I have to see my lawyer.
She was rather insistent. You should have time for the morning ablutions and whatnot, but you should probably head to see her as soon as you can. She doesn't like to be kept waiting, as you know.
She'll sigh very deeply and she'll say, "Oh, very well. Call the lawyer and reschedule."
Will do, and slips their little hand into their little pouch and pulls out a sending stone. I'm afraid Regina will have to, as they wander away out of the room.
Thank you, darling.
Let's go with TB. Where are you in this morning?
TB is laying in bed, and TB feels the fresh breath of wind from the morning trail across her face, and without opening her eyes, she immediately grabs for her short swords and immediately springs out of bed like it's her daily routine to practice being jumped and fight. Yeah,
straight out there, wings going.
Yeah, and she starts going through her regular sword craftsman routine, going
back and forth. You're just sort of shadow boxing, as it were, just fighting nothing in particular. But then in one particular moment, you spin around as if to attack an assailant from behind. You come to defend yourself, and you almost slice through the outstretched hand of a fellow fairy, or rather a pixie. A pixie is sort of just flown up to you and...
So terribly sorry, Miss B. I have been sent by the Blue Tune. She would she would really like to speak with you at your earliest convenience.
Can she see that I'm practicing?
Well, yes, you're practicing very well. Perhaps maybe a little more awareness of your surroundings, though. You almost took my fingers. I did not mean offense.
Awareness of my surroundings? And she'll...
I did not mean any offense.
It's best you stay back there, I think. Fine, I'll come with you.
If you would. Thank you. You can gather your things, of course.
I have all the things I need on me at all times. I'm always prepared for battle.
Of course. I think that's why she called for you.
And as you follow this pixie away from your place of where you happened to sleep the previous night, we will go to Evelyn. Evelyn, where are you this morning?
Evelyn is in front of her vanity mirror, currently removing her curls, and she just sort of mutters a little song to herself.
It's a beautiful little ditty. What is it? What is the subject of the song? Is it just one that's in your head, or is it something
More
you've
of just a
written?
melody, like just kind of humming.
Just humming a little melody to yourself. As you're looking at yourself in the vanity mirror, you see that there's a similar sort of a shimmer to the mirror that you've seen before. It's a relatively common form of transport, particularly for enchanted mirrors like yours. You see that the image of yourself kind of distorts as though the mirror is rippling, and then a moment later the mirror sort of sheens out to a smooth finish again, and you see the visage of an Eladrin, gentleman in a very silvery robe that's standing sort of looking back at you, and he says, Is this on? Are we... Evelyn, can you hear me?
Who is that?
Oh, good. We're not muted. Evelyn, it's Jeremiah. I work for the Blue Tune.
Jeremiah.
Yes, we've met many times, Evelyn. She would like to speak with you, if you would.
She wants to spank me?
No, she wants to speak with you, Evelyn. Speak with you.
Oh.
Would you please? Yes, please. Once you're ready, I can see that you still. I think you've missed one at the sort of back. Just run your hand through your hair to the right there. There it is. If you can get your things ready and then step through the mirror when you're ready to come.
All right, I'll be there in a moment.
Quit rushing me. You tuttle around the room, getting your things ready. Eventually, you step through your bedroom mirror and into the other side. And as you pass through that portal, Seamus, where do we find you this morning?
All right, so Seamus, you actually find in a small, very very quaint human town. It's still the very very early hours of the morning. When all of a sudden you hear the sound of breaking glass as a bright emerald-colored body is flung into the cobblestone streets.
Stay out!
Look, the sign said half price for halflings. How was I supposed to know? You're all going to get all fancy and technical with me. He reaches down and grabs an empty bottle from the street and kind of hucks it at a nearby. Or at least goes to huck it at a nearby wanted poster with Seamus's face on it. He kind of before he does though, he kind of looks at the bottle and just takes a swig of the mouthful of lukewarm flat ale before throwing it against the wall.
It's definitely not all ale either. There's quite a bit of rainwater in it.
Yeah.
At least you hope it's rainwater.
He lets loose this kind of thunderous belch from his gut, and he says, "Now where did I park me?" And I go to this nearby alleyway with just some trash and bags and stuff like that nearby. This four-legged black cauldron with a small amount of gold in it sort of rattles out almost like a little a cat kind of thing out of the garbage. And he goes, "And where were you when I needed you, huh?"
There's a voice that seems to answer your question from the side, sitting on top of a crate, and says, "He could not come when you called because I was preventing him from moving." You look over that way and you see that a small creature. You see a small creature called a darkling with a sort of almost goat-like legs, but completely covered head to toe in robes and clothing. Only the eyes visible, very darkened skin, black eyes. I was told that I might find you here. And don't I get some sort of a wish? He hops off and says, for finding a leprechaun's pot of gold.
You watch as Seamus says, yeah, no, you're right, lad. You do get a wish. You get to wish you found a different alleyway.
Easy now, easy. I'm not taking your gold. I've just been told that you might work for a coin. Is that right?
There's a lot of things I'd do for a coin.
I've heard that too. Let's not get into those. I'm not here for that kind of service. Look, the Blue Tune wants to speak with you and there's money in it.
He looks down, he says, oh, I swear I'd never deal with fairies again.
Up to you.
Love gold.
You need to fill out the rest of this, don't you? And he looks in your cauldron, which is only like half full with gold.
He kind of looks at it, and there's like this almost like Beauty and the Beast moment. Like, if I don't fill up my gold coffer by the end of the month, I'll fade away or something. Yeah. So he's like, all right. God damn it! All right.
Very well
I'll see what that beautiful blue bitch wants.
Follow me this way. Leads you deeper into the alleyway, and we cut to you guys all arriving about the same time, coincidentally. Isn't that crazy? How coincidences can happen in this game?
My God.
Isn't it crazy that you all just happen to arrive about the same time?
Wow.
You arrive at the palace of the Blue Tune. She lives in a very intimidating fashion. She does not pride herself on being welcoming or warm or pleasant. Everything about her is sharp and angular, and as is her castle as well. It's got lots of large pointed turrets and towers. You are led inside by your respective hosts, except for Evelyn, who has just stepped into one of the foyers through your magical mirror anyway. You all meet up in the sort of antechamber before the main foyer of her palace. And once she's ready for you, the two Eladrin guards open the doors and lead you in. You can see her sitting up on her throne, this beautiful, if terrifying, woman that is got the sharpest of cheekbones and the sharpest of jawline, no hint of amusement or fun in her eyes, and she wears this sort of almost wild, what's it called? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe Queen, the Winter Queen, almost that kind of a style crown, jagged and pointed. And as you are led up the foyer to her, she opens with no niceties at all. She just says, "What do you know of the murder?"
I beg your pardon.
I do not have time for games. What do you know of the murder?
Wasn't me. I didn't do it.
The herder?
Murder, Evelyn.
Murder, Evelyn. What do you know of the murder?
Oh, I didn't murder anyone. Regina?
She's saying this like as you're walking towards her. She didn't even wait the niceties for you to actually get close to her. So as you do enter about 30 feet range from her, I'll have a charisma saving throw from each of you, please.
Oh.
Well, that is an 8.
14.
Definitely a pass, right?
11.
13.
The highest was a 14. You all enter the field of a zone of truth and fail your save against it, feeling obligated that whenever you're standing within 30 feet of her, it seems you must be compelled to tell the truth. She stops for a second, just a brief, intimidating pause of silence, before continuing. I will ask you one more time. What do you know of the murder?
I don't know nothing.
Goodness, darling, nothing. There's no need for such a fuss.
All right, look, the fat man owed me money, and I couldn't help myself. All right, listen, he should have known better.
I'm not talking about the troll. I'm talking of the satyr, Tita.
Oh, I didn't kill no satyr. At least not this month.
Evelyn?
No, never.
Very well. Then I need to employ you, as it were. There is gold in it, and of course, a favor with me is never to be missed either. You had to do some internal investigation of the murder. I do not wish the council to hear of this, you understand? You guys know that she is a part of a much larger council of Archfey that runs kind of the entire Feywild. I do not wish for the council to hear about this. It is an internal affair. Tito was a satyr that worked for me in a sort of non-direct way. I do not wish it to get out, but if somebody is killing my people, I wish to know who it was. Needless to say, she looks at you like, and her eyes kind of glow blue, like, do not interrupt me.
Okay.
Needless to say, the person who committed this heinous crime, best hope that I never find out who it was. You understand?
But we're gonna find out who it was.
You are going to find out who it was, Evelyn. You understand?
I guess.
She snaps her fingers, and the torches, the torch sconces on the wall, burst from the yellow flame into a blue one, and then the blue flames seem to sweep towards you off of the torches and encompass you in like a circling unit of blue fire. And she says, "Find out what you can, and if necessary, and you feel you are capable, deal with it." Am I clear?
Crystal, darling.
I have one question. Are there any jewels as a reward? Can I request jewels?
Of course. She snaps her fingers and the fire rushes into each of you. You feel like there's half a second of being incinerated, and then the feeling is entirely reversed. And you are standing outside a beautiful house on a very manicured lawn. Evelyn, you are very familiar with it because this is your house.
Oh. Well, do you think we have time for tea?
No, Evelyn, come on! Don't you want your reward?
Oh, I suppose.
I'm not sure if any reward's really going to be worth all this. Jesus, I swear to God, woman's got a stick so far up her ass. I swear it's popping up the top of her crown.
I wouldn't speak of the blues tune like that if I was you.
Oh, Jesus, you're still here.
You look over to the front door, and leaning against / in the front door frame, the wooden door frame, is a dryad, kind of half fused to the door frame. And she says, "It's just in here."
Mind the hedges.
And then she moves off of the door frame and just kind of opens the door for you.
Do we know the satyr at all that she's referring to? Like in.
You can make a history check, see if you've come in contact with him before. You can do so with advantage, actually, Seamus, for reasons.
I was gonna ask if we know Seamus, because he doesn't, like, it sounds like he was hired on.
Yes, so you all know each other from you're not best friends kind of thing necessarily, but you've been through a decent amount together in the aftermath of your divorce. You sort of had a bitching club, a bitching club at the book club or whatever, and Seamus was a part of that. So you acquaintances, you know of his work, but not necessarily like what his family situation is or where he lives.
Okay.
I like Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, you know his favorite book.
Yeah. I did not make my history check. I got a 5.
With advantage.
With advantage, I got a 5.
Oh, wow.
So I definitely, I might, I mean, there are so many satyrs, and I'm usually.
Heard of satyrs, you are not familiar with the name Tita that she gave.
Mm-hmm.
Are you outside in the garden, or are you going inside? What's the deal?
Evelyn's going inside.
Yeah.
Evelyn, you head inside your own front door.
Slowly, she's very slowly shifting.
Yeah, you slowly head inside your own sort of open plan living dining area, and see that there is it all looks pretty much immaculate except for one pile of body parts that is nearby of a satyr. He has been dismembered, and the blood has been pooled in a very small radius thankfully on the lino or the tile of your kitchen / dining area, so it would be relatively easy to clean up. You can see that, and you can see no other disturbance to the house, it seems.
Oh my. She starts to get a little teary-eyed.
Evelyn, can you make me a perception check, please?
Perception is going to be A 15.
You see that one of the body parts of this satyr is its head, and its head is looking up off of the ground, looking generally in your direction. You can also see that the head seems to be that of a satyr that you are not super familiar with, but your late husband Chunder definitely had some kind of work with this guy once. You've seen him kind of having discussions, and you're not sure what the nature of their business agreements were, but he definitely had some kind of arrangement with him.
I'm sorry. It's just I miss my husband so much, and coming home to body parts reminds me of him.
Oh, Evelyn, darling, such a farce. Here, and she'll give you a handkerchief.
You just go into your dining room and find that there's a dismembered body. You don't make a
Thank you.
Evelyn.
Oh,
Evelyn, look, you're beyond that now, okay? Remember, we talked about all this, okay? You don't need someone else to dismember bodies for you. You're perfectly capable of dismembering bodies yourself.
But he was so good at it.
The dryad says, "Is that so?"
Well, accidents tend to happen when you're making progress in the name of science.
I see.
It's all about healing.
It's all above board. Anyway, this one looks familiar, though.
What do you make of it?
Well, it looks somewhat familiar. I think Chunder, bless his heart, may have had dealings with this one in the past. I'm going to take a closer look, if I can, and just see if I can make any kind of...
Indeed. Make a medicine check for me, please.
Sure.
I got a nat 20. You can tell he's dead.
Yeah, you just put your head on his neck. He's not going to make it.
I don't think he's going to... His hand goes through the neck.
It's an 18.
18. You have a look at this, and you can tell that he was killed with precision. He was killed with surgical precision. This guy, whoever killed him, was very well adept at disposing of and dismembering bodies. That definitely strikes you. All of the cuts are precise. If a little bit rough, they're precise cuts in where they targeted on the body. They look like they weren't done with a scalpel, though. Looks like they might have been done with a knife that was a little too thick for the job. What are the rest of you doing while Evelyn is investigating the body inside?
No, go ahead, Dag.
No. I can wait. I guess.
You there, looming figure by the door.
My name is Hartley.
Whatever. Tell me, this is how he was found?
Yes.
Right here?
Yes.
You don't suppose, Evelyn, an associate of Chunder's from the past?
Well, it's hard to say. All I could make out right now is whoever did this, it almost looks like my husband's earlier work.
Yes, well, this is what I was thinking. Maybe somebody Chunder worked with, or something of that sort.
Well, there was one person that comes to mind. Old Dirk McGurk used to work with my husband. Could be him.
You do know where Dirk McGurk lives, and he doesn't live too far away. You could speak with him if you needed to. Seamus, you were going to say something?
Seamus will approach TB. Psst. Oi. Yeah. This kind of mess, right? It's a little bit too, dramatic, isn't it? Like, if you had to kill a bloke, you just need to, right? Plenty of easier ways.
You disappear the body after. It's like killing 101. I don't understand. Sloppy killing.
Exactly. Now, you thinking the same thing I am, that this is some kind of message or something, someone's trying to say something.
Yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, surely they, it's not, I don't imagine that's some kind of frame job or anything like that. I mean, for the most part, I think, none of us really have a means or motive here, but I think someone might be after our dear Evelyn there. And, if I had to take any stabs in the dark, which, trust me, I know my way around stabs in the dark.
So do I.
I would have to just say it's, and I'm going to point towards Evelyn, like, not to accuse Evelyn, but it's like, it's her husband. He's a wanker.
It's true. I mean, we could just go kill him right away. Just knock him off the list like that.
The two of you.
I roll a perception.
The two of you would know, having been in the bitch sessions of Regina's husband, aftermath of him divorcing and everything, you would know that it would have come up in conversation that Evelyn's husband relatively recently died.
Sorry, I'm getting my husband's confused. I'm still gonna blame Regina's husband.
Regina's
husband.
Oh, Regina.
Regina's.
Miss Regina. It's Miss
Regina. That's right.
Yes.
No longer Mrs.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna suggest it's Regina's husband trying to create drama and stuff like that. Just saying.
Well, TV will say the same thing. Well, we could just kill him. That would solve a lot of problems. We wouldn't have to do our weekly book meetings and listen to Regina talk about how he's such a shithead all the time.
So it's definitely, I think, a big sword that has come to. I'm going to look around just to make sure that the TV is getting louder.
Regina, they're not exactly talking quietly, and so you hear them talking about murdering your husband, and you full well know that if you knew where your husband was, you'd have probably murdered him yourself.
Listen,
you took off with all of your gods and all of your gold.
It very well could be him, in which case, fantastic. Let's hunt him down and cut his throat.
But what's it doing in my house?
Well, I don't know, Evelyn. How did you not hear anything?
Really, I'm old.
Well, so am I.
Was this here last night when you went to bed?
I go to bed.
It just walks past it. I'll deal with that.
I go to bed at 6 p.m. sharp. Every night.
Speaking of sharp, it occurs to you all in this moment that there's no murder weapon in sight.
What do you think he did it with? I'll go through, I'll see if I can find anything in the area.
Make an investigation check for me, please.
I would love to.
Is there like a
used? It was crude. At least crude-ish.
7.
Does Evelyn have a cold box or something?
Does Evelyn have a cold box?
Oh yeah.
Fridges do exist in my
little paper mache sunflowers on it.
Sweet. I'm gonna go open it.
All right.
Look for a beer.
Oh yeah, just help yourself.
Look for beer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you find a nice cold bottle of beer in there.
Oh, nice.
Can you make me a Constitution save as you drink this beer, please? You would be aware as a leprechaun that every time you drink beer, there is a chance that you change from a leprechaun into a cluricaun, who is basically a drunk leprechaun.
I feel like I should already be one, but let's keep the illusion going. That's a 12.
A 12. It is enough for your first beer. You managed to save your transformation for later. As you finish this beer, TB, what are you doing?
TB doesn't trust Regina's investigation skills, so TB's going to be doing her own recognizance around the room, trying to see if she can find any signs of a hidden weapon or...
You can make me an investigation check, please.
Okay. 18.
18. As you flick around the room, Regina's looking for daggers and knives and swords. Goes over to like a weapon rack by the front door where people would obviously put their things, kind of like an umbrella stand, but for swords and maces and things. Is there any weapons in there, Evelyn? Do you have weapons that you keep near your front door, or?
There would be a cane that
There'd be a cane in there.
Is sheathed. Also, it's like a cane sword hybrid sort of situation.
Regina, you find that and pull it out and realize this is definitely not the murder weapon. The blade is too thin and sharp to do the crude sort of cuts that were done. Also, it's much longer than you could use to chop somebody up with. It's too delicate of a blade to get through bone and things. TB, you, however, as she's over that side of the room, you stick to the kitchen side. You see the knife block, and pulling out one of the knives, it's definitely got blood on it. You realize that she was killed by this satyr rather was killed by a something akin to a bread knife. You pull out a couple of the knives, and you see that yes, he seems like he's used a very strong serrated blade to cut through bone, and pretty much dulled the bread knife in the process. And then like paring knives to do other jobs. It's been used. This knife block has been used like a surgeon's toolkit.
Okay, TB will excitedly grab one of the knives and I found something, guys! Look! And she'll hold up one of the many knives.
Can you all make an insight check for me, please?
Me included, or
yeah, everybody.
Nat 20.
Yeah, boy.
12.
7.
Also 7.
All right. So with the nat 20, Regina, you notice you sort of flick around from the rapier blade to as in the hearing the noise of TB finding the weapon, and your eyes skim over the dryad who is standing nearby. The dryad doesn't seem shocked or surprised that TB has found the blade, and is instead very focused on Evelyn's reaction to TB finding the blade. With your nat 20, is it a total of 20, or you got a modifier to that?
25.
25. Ooh. In that case, you can also tell that the dryad definitely is under the assumption that Evelyn did this, and is trying to see if Evelyn is reacting to the finding of the weapon.
She'll like put her glasses down. She'll like, you there. How much remember her?
Talking to the dryad, I think.
Yeah. What on earth are you staring at?
Well, it
I'll
seems
cast-
a little...
Oh, I was
You'll
gonna
cast what?
cast Charm Person on him.
Ooh, okay, go for it. They are not hostile towards you, so they don't have advantage on the roll.
Okay.
That is a 6 plus any amount of modifier is not going to be enough. They are considered charmed by you as they look over, kind of about to dismiss you and say, well, it seems a little something. As they start to speak back, you're like, what does it look like? Does it come from your eyes? Do you fairy dust or?
Yes. So it's gonna be like pink fairy dust, but almost like a kiss, like slowly. Yeah.
Fairy dust hits this dryad in the face. They blink for a second and then look back towards you and say, I meant no offense by it. I was simply... It seems curious that the person entered the home of one Evelyn Van Harp and was killed by tools found in the home of Evelyn Van Harp. And it seems that Evelyn is primarily our prime suspect. Of course, I'm sure the Blue Tune would not hold it against you, Evelyn, if you were protecting yourself in self-defense.
Look, if I killed him, I would have said I killed him.
I don't think it was a bit.
Murderers often converse.
Why don't you make yourself useful and go look for signs of a struggle or a break and enter or whatever?
Certainly,
Please.
I will do.
Thank you.
And the dryad leaves immediately at your best.
Thank you,
Out
darling.
into the garden.
Anyone else find it a little strange that the old door lady there didn't notice this bloke come in the middle of, whenever they came in while Evelyn was doing whatever?
I've been wondering that myself.
Evelyn, you would know that
I have.
this dryad lady isn't part of your door frame. She's from the Blue Tune and was sent to investigate as well. So it's not like she just lives here.
She's just hiding in your door. So really, and also the fact that she opened your door. I presume you locked your house before you came over to the old castle over there.
Well,
Which
maybe
means that she has the exact way to break in.
I'm forgetful sometimes. I'm old.
Yes,
I
you
don't know
are.
how many times I have to say it.
Make a running tally. We should do a bonus
How many
plus
times is Evelyn
plus
gonna
something
say
to the
she's
end
old?
at the very end of the session. You get a plus X, where X is the number of times that you've mentioned you're old. So you are around the surgically chopped up body. You found the murder weapons have been things that Evelyn would have had access to. It definitely does look somewhat damning for Evelyn. And if she did do it, it would be she's like trying to hide the fact by being like, "Oh, I'm too doddery and old. I couldn't do this."
I'm gonna pick up the head.
You pick up the head of the satyr. The eyes kind of just unblinkingly staring.
I'm gonna open the mouth.
Mm.
I'm gonna stick my hand in.
The hand goes all the way into the mouth, as far as you can get it.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for clues. Come here, you. Just wait.
I can see your fingers.
Yeah.
Fingers coming out the bottom.
I don't think there's anything in there. Look.
All right, I pull my hand out.
You
All right.
pull your hand back out.
All right, he's clean.
Were you trying to find anything
Well,
in particular?
thanks for that.
Well, I think maybe this is a message, right? And like maybe they put something in its mouth, and it's like, aha, yeah. So I was looking at
Is that what you would do?
Make anybody, if they want to determine if this is a message or not, make an intelligence check for me, please. Just straight intelligence. You can make an intelligence-based insight check if you're proficient in insight.
I failed that one.
That is a 26.
Ooh, 14.
Evelyn.
That's an 8 for me.
So 26. Evelyn, if this is a message, the clear message that it would send to anyone is don't mess with Evelyn because she can defend herself. You would also be aware, Evelyn, with a 26, was it?
Mm-hmm.
You'd also be aware that your husband did have some enemies.
Yeah.
He had problems with money, and he was very good at what he did, but he had problems with money, and you're pretty sure that his end was met because of one of his enemies. There's a good chance that his enemies could be coming after you, given that he's now gone, and they have no one to take their anger out on or reclaim their money from. And if they are coming after you, this would send them a pretty clear message not to mess with you because you can handle yourself.
All right, I'm gonna ask this only once. You sure you didn't do this, Nan?
First of all, I'm not your nan. Second of all, and for the sake of time, because that was a lot there, I'll roughly explain in a more terribly worded way everything that he just said. And I'll just
I know Alzheimer's can be a thing, just maybe you kill a satyr and then you wouldn't be lying about having killed it.
They just forgot that I killed and
oh
chopped
God,
up this
I
satyr.
completely forgot I murdered this person.
At this moment, there's a call from outside in the garden. The dryad says, "Evelyn, do you have a dog?"
Oh,
I think so, darling.
There's
A dog?
there's dog fecal matter on the garden. Are you sure you don't have a dog? You don't.
no.
Oh,
I
I
don't
thought there
have
were
a dog.
There were dogs.
Oh,
In the cold
have
open that I did,
allergies.
there were 2 dogs on the garden. Evelyn
Oh.
doesn't have dogs.
got it.
I love dags.
Nice.
I'll take a look.
No, there's
outside.
definitely dog fecal matter here on the garden. It looks relatively fresh.
Oh, and TB will zoom out and go and smell the fecal matter to try and get an idea of how fresh it is.
make an animal handling check.
I'll go out with TB, but I will not be smelling fecal matter.
Animal handling. That's a 14.
14. Regina, what breed were your dogs?
My dogs? Oh,
Yeah,
they were
the dogs.
small. They were small, like teacup poodle type
Little teacup
things.
poodles.
Little baby.
TB, the poo is fresh. It seems like it's only a few hours old. And it also seems like it was from relatively small dogs. Maybe like teacup poodle sized dogs.
All right, TB will.
There was also a hole in the garden in the very well manicured lawn. There's a hole where something has been driven in, like a stake has been driven in and then since removed. Something that the dogs were probably leashed to, based on like the disturbance of the grass around.
All right. Well, TB will take her sniff in. Okay, I got it. And then she will relay everything you just said to the rest of
You do so.
everybody.
As everybody comes out to get this information, you can all make me a perception check, please.
21.
Nice.
13.
I'm gonna start rolling real dice because D&D Beyond hates me. I get a
So
5.
4 for Evelyn.
All right, Regina again is the only one to see. As you make your way out onto the lawn and see the clues out here, as it were, you can see that just across the small sort of suburban street from Evelyn's house is a playground, a sort of a play park. And in the trees at the edge of this play park, there is like a makeshift what's it called? Like a tree house that seems to be made out of bits of wood that like children have made it, sort of thing. You can see that sitting up in this tree house, just kind of looking across the street towards you, are a number of anthropomorphic animal folk. In particular, you can see that there are... Where are they? Where are we? Murder scene. You can see that there's like a fox person, a rabbit person, a skunk person, a bear person, and 2 raccoon people who are just kind of like leaning on the edges, watching the things as they're happening.
Well, it appears we have an audience, and she'll gesture across the street.
You all see this now, and it occurs to all of you that if this is indeed a treehouse, sort of a place where these kinds of anthropomorphic vagabond kids live, as many do, they sort of live on the streets often, or in wilderness locations. If they were here overnight, they may have seen something.
Perhaps we should go speak to them. They may have seen something.
Oh, right.
Right, I'll go have a word with him. I'm good with kids. Oh, you, come here.
As you say this, shout out to them, and then start to make your way out of the lawn and into the street. You can see that
sprinting.
they kind of, but you first shouted, and as you shouted, and then the reason you start off sprinting is because they see you turn away from the edge of the treehouse and then bolt, and you see them climb/jump down the tree and then across the park, and they are setting off running as you are running across the street. It seems they have like at least 100 feet head start on you, but they are running away. If you wish to give chase, we will go into a chase scene.
Oh, I'm a fat alcoholic. If you run, you're just gonna piss me off. All right, let's do this. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. I just want to catch you.
I just want to catch you because you run. You know, Seamus is basically a dog or a cheetah. If something moves, he's got to get it. All right. So we're going into a chase scene. So basically, it's like a modified version of a combat. Is how I roll them anyway. You each have one action you can do on your turn. It's assumed that you're moving at your regular speed. They are also moving at their regular speed, so there's no difference there. Essentially, the only thing that can make a difference in whether you're catching them or not is your action. You can take your action to dash, but you can only dash a number of times equal to 5 plus your Constitution modifier, because otherwise you'll get a bit too exhausted from sprinting all this way. Anyone who wishes to join in the chase can, otherwise you can stay back where you were at Evelyn's house and wait for the others to either catch or fail. Seamus, you're giving chase, so you've used your first round, as it were, to sort of cross the road and enter the park. So you can dash for another.
I was going to say, what's the like in terms of how strong the in general people are, right? If I were to perhaps use magic missile,
they do look like anthropomorphic animal children, probably like boys, teenagers at most. There's a good chance that 1 magic missile might leave one alive, 2 or 3 might kill them, 4 or more would almost definitely kill them. All
right, as I'm running for the first time, I'm going to reach into my pocket and I'm going to pull out like 3 of my gold coins, and I'm just going to use them as magic missiles and just like send 1 at each of them as I'm running.
Who are you targeting? Those again were fox,
I'll
bear,
target
rabbit,
the fox,
skunk, and raccoon.
I'm going to target the fox, the rabbit, and the raccoon, because I think the bear will be the slowest.
One of the raccoons.
All right. You are indeed correct that the fox, the rabbit, and the skunk and raccoons are all faster than the bear. You send them off. They don't miss, so that's an automatic success. That'll slow them down a little bit. But you also didn't use your action to dash, so we'll see how that works out with the rest of it. TB, Evelyn, Regina, are you joining this chase as well?
Yep.
I guess so.
If I can, being my neighborhood, would I be able to find an idea of where they're heading towards and kind of cut them off?
Good question. I will say make me a you can either make it a history or a survival. Like the history of your area, or survival of like layout and knowing route.
So that's another 26.
Whew, 26.
But +7 to history.
You happen to know that they're heading towards the sort of outskirts of town and into the forest. On the other side of this park is like some undeveloped like forest land, wild land. It starts heading into the Fey Wilds proper. It takes a while, obviously, to get properly wild and dangerous, but it's where the outskirts of society live, the people that don't tend to blend in with fairy life, and it's not unusual for anthropomorphic folk to live in those woods. In terms of heading them off, they're pretty much beelining right across the playground park, and so there's any other direction than beelining would be the longer route.
And last question, I promise, about how far away are they from me right now?
From you, they are about 100 feet. So from you, they've set off. They're probably about 130 feet or so.
Okay. Then I'll join the chase and I'll dash with mine.
You're dashing. All right. So keep track of how often you've dashed
Yep.
individually. Regina, are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
And you're dashing?
Yep.
All right. TB, you were dashing?
Yeah, before TB dashes, she'll just like in an anime way whisper to herself, "I am one with the wind," and then she will go.
We see the
Also-
colors. All
You
of the
see-
surrounding screen just turns into color. As you get like foreshortening animation of TB's face.
Yeah. See?
And then we zoom out, and you're flying just at the same speed as Evelyn and Regina. But you do stop. But you do overtake Seamus, who is running across the road and having to open gates and get into the park over the fence. You guys are just flying.
Slight point of order. I actually have cunning action because I'm a rogue, so I've got bonus action to dash.
Ah, sweet. So you can dash as well. So you've dashed and you've done your thing, which means
And I've got a 30-foot move speed.
Which means that you are going to catch up with them, and then I'm going to roll to see what obstacle you overcome.
Oh, don't you run away from me.
So we got a 4. All right, 4 is a physical obstacle. So I'm going to say that they come across like a children's playground sort of a thing, like slides and swings and things. And I'm going to roll for them to see if they can overcome it and continue with their movement. They do, with a 14 plus their dexterity modifier, being that they're
How far away are
relatively
they?
young and lithe. They're same distance really. We go through everybody's turn, and then at the end of once everybody's done a thing, then I work out whether you've gained on them or not gained on them.
Okay. Sorry.
So they have managed to get through and round and over. And have you ever seen the professional parkour or tag competitions? Have you ever seen professional tag? Man, it's fun. It's like a big playground set out and leaping over things and under things and swinging out. And they basically do this, whoosh, sliding through slides and stuff. They all make it through this thing. I need a dexterity check from each of you to see if you can get past this physical obstacle.
Womp womp.
23.
All right, you do.
Oh, not 20. Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
you do.
15.
7 and a 15, Evelyn.
15.
All right, everyone but Regina. So Regina, you drop back 2 points essentially. You end up 2 points further back from them. They succeeded, so they kept going. However, the 3 that you hit with the magic missiles, they also drop back 2 points, Seamus. So you've made some distance on those ones. You haven't made any distance on the others.
Oh, come here,
Right.
you.
Into round 2, what are you guys doing as they are continuing to run across this playground?
Approximately how far away are they now?
About 100 feet or so.
Oh, I will. I'll just dash again. TV
All
will
right, you're
just-
dashing again. Evelyn?
Same with Evelyn.
I'm also gonna dash.
Nice.
Can rogues double dash with cunning action?
Yeah, yeah.
Rogues can double dash with cunning action, yeah, and you can.
Yeah, I'm
even
gonna-
closer.
Yeah, I'm just.
All right, Seamus is starting to get closer. All right, the obstacle.
Just for experience, I'm gonna pull out a knife and just be like I'm too into this chase.
You might not have eyewitnesses left if you let Seamus get to them first. All right, the obstacle this round was a person obstacle. So there is a crowd of dog walkers that are like talking and leashes of dogs in the way, and there's a big open tangle. You can either use an animal handling check to like get the dogs to clear out of your way first, or you can use like an acrobatics check to get over them. Also, if you've got another thing you can do, you can try and pitch me on it. They are going to do acrobatics because that's what they're best at.
Can I intimidate by like yelling "move" or something like that?
Yeah, you make an intimidation check.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Or could I ask them politely and use persuasion?
if you haven't rolled yet, you can.
Yeah. Not 20. 31.
Hey, nice. All right. So you persuade them to get out of the way of you and into the way of one of the others. Who's next?
Evelyn's doing an animal handling and rolled a 14.
14. You succeed. You manage to come on, and the dogs kind of and get back from you just in time for you to zip through them.
TV would like to sort of do like as if she was like paragliding or whatever, but like turn through the air
nice.
Using the wind. Yeah, exactly.
There's like a crisscrossing almost from like Entrapment or something. The Catherine Zeta-Jones where she's like going under and over the red alarm wires, and there's like crisscrossing leads and leashes from these dogs, and you see this opening. This starts to open, and you whoosh, tuck your wings in. Make me a little check. See if you actually succeed.
I got a dirty 20.
You definitely succeed. Out the other side without being slowed down. Seamus?
I get a 10. I run straight into the dogs, and that extra dash action that I used, I don't instead I stop for a moment to pat the dog. The little corgi is like, I love dogs!
Well, a 10 is the DC on this particular check, so you still made it. So you ran into the dogs, give them a quick pat, and then you head off after them. All right, so they succeeded as well. So the people who are dashing, they're dashing as well. No one was slowed down, but Seamus, you get 2 points closer towards them all. I will say that you are now 5 points difference between you and the ones at the back, the three that you slowed down. All right, next round. We'll roll to see what the obstacle is. Oh, it's another physical obstacle. So this one is going to be divots, and this is where somebody's starting to turn this large open park into a golf course, and they've started to dig out the obstacles, the what do they call them? The sand pits and whatnot. And so they are going to try and get down this sand pit. I need a roll from each of you to either get across it, or I suppose 3 of you can fly. So let's come up with another obstacle for you. There's trees in the way.
It's just me.
Branches.
It's just
There's a thick canopy.
There's a thick canopy of trees. There's digging equipment. There we go. All the things that they've been excavating the stuff out of. There's digging equipment, and it's up in the air, and you're gonna have to either duck down or fly over. Some kind of a check from each of you. Oh, they failed it this time. They're gonna slow down.
I'll do acrobatics. Yeah.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
16.
16, nice. It's like a parkour scene from like a Casino Royale where you're flying, you're about to smack into one of the diggers, but you zoom up at the last second, and your little fairy legs run up one of the sides and up and off the top.
I rolled an 18. I'm wondering if for flavor I could also, while it's happening, cast Druidcraft and make like goggle sunglasses come out over her face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are the goggle sunglasses made out of? Like polished shells of walnuts or something that you can see through?
Like vines come out, and then
vines.
Like you've got clear petals or shells or whatever that you can see through.
Nice. That one comes in. And what was the check you were doing? Acrobatics? So
Yeah.
Acrobatics. So you do another one of those tuck and roll bomber moves in between a couple of the diggers' forks. Evelyn?
Evelyn went with acrobatics. She rolled a 12. Whether she wins or loses, she's going to use Druidcraft to make a fan, like a little hand fan. Hey, damn ragamuffins!
Just shaking it after these guys. The digger. One of them's coming down to excavate more, and you were aiming for that space. You almost get hit, squished between that and the sand, but you managed to tuck up at the last second. Your feet drag along the sand, kick up a big cloud behind you. Seamus?
Seamus is going to long jump with a 15 on his athletics check as he.
Make me a so 15. What did you say?
Yep.
There you go then. You long jump. Your feet go into the sand. You stand up and turn, and you're like, oh, it's actually pretty bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
this is your unlucky day.
You get a little flag out, and you put it down to be like, measure that for me. I'll be back. And you set off running again.
Yeah.
All right, so all of you succeeded and they failed, so they get 2 points. They all respectively get 2 points closer to you. Seamus, with your double dash, you actually managed to get 2 points closer to them, meaning there's only 1 point between you and the 3 that you hit with magic missile. So you are pretty close to being able to grab them. One more round should do it if you succeed. Everybody, keep marking off those dash rounds. Ooh, 2. Here we go. A 2 is a sudden turn. So they have reached the edge of the play park sort of area at this point, and they are going down the hill into the forest proper. There's a sudden change for you to not tumble and go down the hill and get hit into trees and things. So any sort of respective check that you think would be appropriate for turning on a dime. Ooh, they succeeded. About the rest of
if they're within range, I'm going to use silvery barbs.
Use silvery barbs, thank you. All right, here we go.
And the flavor of my silvery barbs is I flip a coin as I'm running.
And it flips over. You put it on your thumb in heads side up, and it flips over, and it comes back down heads side up. Unfortunately, I rolled better the second one, so they still succeed. But you can give somebody advantage with that. To your next
I'm going to give advantage to Evelyn.
Evelyn,
thank
all right.
you.
Evelyn, on something, some kind of check, you get advantage because of silvery barbs. How did the rest of you go with your sudden turn?
18
18 on your, was it acrobatics or?
acrobatics.
Yeah, you managed to your wings go out. What do Regina's wings look like?
They're very sparkly and ethereal and purple.
Are they like dragonfly wings or like butterfly wings?
I'm thinking
or
closer to a butterfly.
butterfly. Beautiful, ethereal, sparkly purple wings come out, and suddenly, just like you put your one wing out on one side, and it just catches the wind and spins you 90 degrees, and then your other wing comes out to stabilize, and then you're out down this hill, and you're catching up. TV, how'd you go?
I went with acrobatics and I rolled 14.
14, success. What does it look like?
Do you remember those toys from the 90s? They were like little fairies, and you wound them up,
yeah.
and then they
Awesome.
Yeah.
You suddenly spin like a Tasmanian devil, almost spinning top, and then as you come out of it, you suddenly stop like a ballerina, and everybody watching is like, how is she not dizzy as anything? And you're like, it's all about spotting. And
I'm so impressed that you know that.
my fiance is a ballerina. You spot yourself, and you are down the hill. Evelyn?
Well, thanks to Seamus, Evelyn rolled a nat 20 on her. Well, the way it looks is Evelyn does sort of a Tokyo. So she wears these pink fuzzy slippers, like backless slippers. And she's like, does this like drag off of the ground, and one of the slippers comes flying off, but she catches it, like without skipping a beat, throws it back on her foot.
I love it. Grabs the slipper as it goes careening off, and then slips it back on, and you're down the hill. And Seamus?
Seamus is going to, as he's taking the turn, he's going to find a like a mailbox or something on the street.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to use it and ram into it with an athletics check to try and.
There's a tree right at the edge of the park where it meets the woods that's undeveloped. You slam into the tree, and the tree goes. But bam! Give me that check.
14 on my athletics check.
14. You managed to use that to suddenly change your momentum, and you're away, nursing a bruised shoulder as you do. With your double dash, they were not slowed. You guys were not slowed, but with your double dash, Seamus, you managed to catch up to you're now within grappling range of 3 of them. The others have managed to take off. You can see that actually you slowed them down a little bit, but the rabbits have actually caught up to where the rest of them were. You're now in range of the bear as well.
Oh, good. Color spray.
Oh, okay, nice. And that's a con save?
It is a.
The eyes, doesn't it? Blindness, right?
Doesn't ray, yada yada. Whoa, hang on.
Doesn't matter, I think. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Oh no, it's just how many hit points of creature I get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll it.
So I affect 21 hit points worth of creatures.
Boy. All right. Well,
with the damage from the magic missiles I launched earlier.
Yep. With that damage from the magic missiles, they were the 3 that you hit are considered wounded. By the way, they are below half their health.
That's right.
So you managed Take their children. You managed to put to sleep the 3 that you hit with magic missile, and then 2 more. Which ones are you going to go for? You've got the one that you didn't hit was the skunk, the raccoon, and the bear.
Okay, so I'm going to hit all of them but the bear.
Everyone but the bear. All of them, and it's not sleep, is it? It's blindness, right? Color split.
Okay, so they are under the effect of.
Makes them blind, I'm pretty sure.
Starting with the lowest they are blinded yes, until the end of the next turn.
Suddenly they're all, you just blind these children that are running away from you. And you see a bunch of them boom, tripping over roots and things now that you're down into the actual wilderness, as it were.
That's right, you little shite!
Roots and stuff. Ow! The chase is pretty much over because the bear is still lumbering forwards, but he's a little bit slower than the others. You guys with your dashes can catch up to him in time. So you've managed to catch them as they're panting and, don't hurt us, don't hurt us! What would you like to do? You have 6 anthropomorphic children at your behest.
So Seamus looks like he's about to stab one of the kids, and then like as his eyes are sort of like gold and stuff like that, he's like, wait, what was I doing? Right, that's right, you.
I can't see. I can't see either. Shut up.
All right,
if we can't see them, they might not be able to see us. Just shut up. Stop calling. They'll be able to find us. One's kneeling on my chest.
Oh, stop all your bickering, and I'll cast Zone of Truth.
Oh, okay. Ooh, what does it look like?
It's like a gold pulse that comes like up from the floor and then ripples
Nice.
in a 15-foot radius and then circles up too.
Awesome.
I'm gonna lash the children together, and as I do, I say, I was never hugged by my mother. It always was a source of anger for me. I never really got to have a childhood, and I've always been jealous of people who made friends easily.
That's enough, Seamus.
Sorry, I need to. I walk out of the field.
You walk out of the range of Zone of Truth. Regina, you can feel that the fox has succeeded on his save and is not compelled to tell the truth. The bear failed. The rabbit and the skunk all failed as well, and the 2 raccoons succeeded. So the fox and the 2 raccoons succeeded, but the bear, the rabbit, and the skunk did not. And they are compelled to tell
That's
the truth.
so on brand.
I know, right?
Hey, listen to me, you little shits! What do you know?
You're gonna have to be more specific. I could list everything. I'm pretty good at maths. I can count up to 100.
Shut up!
Sake.
I know about how to light a fire.
About the murder that you were watching us outside. I was smelling poo and you were watching us.
Oh, that murder. Yeah, we saw the guy who did it. And somebody, shut up, dude. We said we wouldn't see. He's gonna come for us. No, don't. No, I didn't mean to tell her, but I just felt like I should tell her. Oh God, I think she cast something on us. Oh, I'm scared.
There's no need to be afraid. Tell us everything you know.
You should be afraid of Seamus, but the rest of us will not. We won't murder you today, so you'll be okay.
As she says that and draws the kids' attention to Seamus holds up like a pint of oil and like a lighter.
Seamus, not yet. Damn it.
The guy who did it, it was around moondown. I've just come up with that term to mean like middle of the night because I suddenly realized that there's no midnight when it's always dusk. There was around the time of moondown, and there was a guy. He looked like Eladrin sort of size, but he didn't look like Eladrin. Looked like one of those normies. And one of them goes, "What are they called? The normies from the material plane." It's like a Hunum or something. He kind of looked Hunum. He doesn't have the ears. His skin was like, I don't know what. He was tallish. He had 2 dogs with him, two little poodles, like teacup poodles. And he tied them up outside. And he said he seemed to know the dogs. The dogs knew him. And he said something. What were the dogs called? And one of them says, I think it was like David and Rayna or something. I think Renisha or something.
David and Rayna.
Yeah, I think that was it.
But Gina, how many times do I have to tell you not to let your dog shit on my lawn?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Evelyn. Shut up. We can talk about it later. What else did you see? This man.
He went inside and then he was sort of just inside for a while. We didn't see anything else, and then a little while later another guy, Sato, turned up and he walked inside, and he seemed to just like he played something on his tunes, and it was hard to see him from across the street from that point. He looked like all dark and shadowy, and then he went inside and then he didn't come back out again. There was kind of like a thud, and then like I don't know, maybe like half an hour later the other man came out and he took the dogs and he left, and he went down the street.
Tell me, this man, did he have very long, stupid sideburns?
Yes.
Okay. I think I know who it was.
Oh. Okay, well, it wasn't us. Please don't kill us. We were just going... We won't be in trouble.
Oh,
we were just
going
going
back.
back.
Minute. One more thing. She'll go up to... I don't know, the skunk. She kind of grabs him, even though in her feeble little hands.
It does not smell nice. Seems like he skunked himself.
Why were you looking into my house? Try to catch a look at old Evelyn.
How appropriate.
That was in character, 100%.
He says, no, we weren't trying to look. That's where we hang out sometimes when we're not with Pete. And then the bear says, Pete, please help. We're being attacked. And they're like, we still can't see.
Famous, what do you want to do with them?
All right, look. Empty your pockets, you little shites.
There's a voice behind you says, no, I think you should empty yours.
Oh my god!
And you turn around to see this. He looks like maybe an elf boy, maybe a wood elf or maybe a ladrin perhaps. But he looks like he's in his sort of early teens, and he's dressed in green sort of forest clothing, and he's got a small dagger out. And it doesn't seem that intimidating, but he's leaning up against the tree with a sort of confidence. You've dealt with a lot of people that are shady. This kid's got the confidence to back up the fact that he can handle himself, it seems, and he doesn't seem to be frightened of the fact that there's 3 fairies and a leprechaun that are shaking down his friends.
But we're so intimidated.
TB, you recognize Pete. You've just served time with him.
I was just gonna ask. Okay.
You just served time with him, and you're currently both fugitives from the same guy. He looks across the 3 of you and, oh, TB, how's it going?
Pete! Wait!
Yeah!
We're supposed to be in the same place at the same time! What are you doing here?
I was just sort of popping... I have some normies with me from the material plane. I was showing them around and stuff. I thought I'd show them my hometown. But, yeah, I'm not sticking around too long, don't worry. Why are we out in the open? Don't stab my friend! What is he doing?
Oh.
Yeah, just pouring oil on them.
Famous, leprechaun, stop it! Goddamn lepers! What is this? What is going on? One of the raccoons is just drenched in oil now, and still not able to see.
Oh, these are my I guess acquaintances, and Seamus wants to murder a lot of things. I guess we're trying to stop him.
You brought a knife to a fireball fight.
I think I'm good, mate. And you meant to be running away. If I catch you, I get a wish or something.
It's not how it works. You got to find me pot of gold.
Come on! And he starts walking towards you.
Don't you lay your hand on me! I swear to all the.
He's going towards you like a kid, like an adult that's going to tickle a kid. And he's like, "Come on, I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you." He gets real close.
I'm gonna use my shillelagh spell and bock him on the head with my shillelagh.
You try and bock him on the head, and you see that he ducks out of the way of it with super dexterousness. He's very, very lithe and nimble, and that seems to be how he gets about. Without wings, it seems that he can still fly without, because as you go to bock him, he sort of flies backwards, and he's now like hovering about 5 feet from the ground with his dagger out in front, and he goes, "Come on, I'll catch you."
Wings then.
And then he comes down and he says, "All right, let's get out of the open. I've got my never home nearby." And
I just realized who Rayna is.
I can't believe
we got it.
Why am I so bad at
That took a long time, Evelyn, but we got there.
Yeah, we got there.
TB, follows Pete, her friend, into the base of the roots of a very large tree nearby. As he walks you down this sort of spiral staircase into this this underground base of operations, he gestures around the room and says, "Please take a seat wherever you like. This is my my human friends, Jono, Mikey, and Wenda, who are just visiting for a little while. I'm just showing them around, but please let's talk it out. What seems to be the problem?" And as we sort of cut to an exposition dump moment, we will take our bio break here, and we'll come back in. What is it? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? How long do you normally go for?
10 minutes. 10 minutes is
10
good.
minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Go get yourself some drinks and snacks and all of the things. See you in a bit.
Things.
Love you.
Welcome back.
Oh.
Welcome back and welcome in for anyone who has joined us since the beginning. You have joined us for a one-shot called FeyTality, set in the Feywild with 3 fairies and a leprechaun as they are investigating a murder on behalf of an arch-fey. They discovered this satyr had been chopped up with almost surgical precision, and the leading suspect seems to be Regina's ex-husband, although why he would go out of his way to protect Evelyn is still the mystery. You've just found some anthropomorphic woodland critters and chased these, what did I end up calling them? Definitely not lost boys. They were legally distinct from lost boys. They were the misplaced men. As you chase the misplaced men into the woods, you found a green bedecked child called Pete, and he led you back to his never home. And in the never home, you've just exposition dumped to him about all that you've been through, and he's been listening and nodding along. He says, "Well, TB, I kind of wish that I could come with you and help you work out what's going on, but unfortunately, I got to stick around these normies for a little while. I do know, however, that your late husband, Evelyn, he owed money to a crime lord kind of a guy, like a what do you call him, like a loan shark or something, he was a leprechaun. No offense," he says to Seamus. "He was a leprechaun out at the end of the Westward Rainbow. What was his name? Billum or something? Billum, something like that. I'd say that if it was a satyr, then I know Billum uses satyrs as enforcers. Maybe go check with him. He'll probably know about why he was sending somebody to who he was sending them after and all this. Best I can do for you, I'm afraid."
Well,
Helpful. This whole time, TB has been sitting on Pete's shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, she's small enough.
Yeah.
Pete, I have a question.
Yeah.
These humans, are they?
These
that
ones?
you brought
Yeah.
over?
Yeah.
Already.
And then he he switches into a language you don't understand, which is common, because you've been speaking Sylvan the whole time. And he says,
Peter, if you couldn't, it makes me very uncomfortable when people speak other languages.
I was just telling them that what we were saying.
Okay.
Just to not worry. Then I said that you were friends of ours, and you look over to the 3 humans who are just like, they've clearly never seen they've just the entire conversation. They've just been sitting there like, there's like animal people and there's fairies and there's a real life leprechaun who seems intent on burning one of the animal people. And there's a skunk that's just been like keeps playing the keep away game, just like walking around the base of this underground hideout, dripping oil the whole time, trying to stay away from the leprechaun who's chasing him with a torch.
If you could ask them to close their mouths, please. It's very rude.
Close the mouth. Reaches over and
She'll wink at them, and then she'll say, "Are there any humans missing? Or last night, can you account for all of their behavior?"
Yes. They were with me for the whole night. I went and picked them up from the material plane. I brought them back through a Feywild portal. We went to the the dive bar on the other side of town.
Sure.
got talking to a changeling fellow. Played some darts with a couple of dryads.
But everyone you brought from the other plane was with you last night.
Yeah,
the
these
whole
three.
Time? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, what
This
do
was
you
like
all make
into
of this?
I think we should do what Pete says. I think we should go talk to the name that I forget. What was the name you used?
Seamus, as you say, you forget the name. He says, Billum. Aye. Billum. Oh, God's me eye. Yes, no, I know him really well. Bastard is currently wearing the goddamn rainbow crown. The most coveted crown of all the leprechauns. Thinks he's so good. Oh, look at me. I can hire satyrs to go and do all my work because my fat arse can't get out of bed in the morning. Freaking, I hate that man. I hate that man with more than anything else. Any other fiver of my... I hate him more than walking through a field of 4-leaf clovers and finding a 3-leaf one. I hate him. I
understood.
Oh, good. Then you can tell him that a Van Hop never pays their debts.
Oh, Evelyn, you're still awake. Great.
Goes off for a bit. And what the hell are you looking at? She points at one of the humans. You wouldn't know what to do with it if you had it.
The human you point into is like a 6-year-old boy with a teddy bear in his hands.
Monsters.
Well, the way I see it, we can
Have
go
been
to
busy.
see this Billum, or we can go to see, was it somebody's neighbor? I forget from earlier.
Dirk McGurk.
Sure.
My husband's old colleague.
Well, if Seamus doesn't like this Billum guy, we can go find him and stab him just a little, just to hurt him a little.
Well, good, let off
Well,
some
you know what?
steam.
That actually might work. You see, leprechauns can't stab each other. That's just the law. But
The Blarney rules or something.
Blarney, the rules of the Blarney Code
Yeah,
say
that's
that say that we can't stab other leprechauns. But doesn't say anything about fairies.
Fairies can stab leprechauns.
I would
Yeah,
very
he's
much
stabbed
like to
I've seen it.
stab Blarnum for you. Blarmy, whatever his name.
Billum, darling.
I like the fact is whatever his name is, he's fine.
I mean, you can
all right,
find him
very
easy
well.
enough with the weather coming in. His home's moving this way anyway. You would know, Seamus, that Billum is in like a mobile home of sorts. He just basically lives at the end of a rainbow, and the rainbow just moves with the storm. Because it's always twilight, there's always some sun going on, and so the sun just goes with wherever the storm is, and the storm's heading this way.
I'm riding high on a rainbow. A wanker. All right. I'm going to say, all right. Well,
I love that you are putting on an Irish accent to play Seamus, and then you're putting on an Irish accent on top of the Irish accent to be the Irish guy mocking the other Irish guy. I love it.
Impressive.
Oh, look at me, diddly dee.
Fucking wanker.
all right. So Seamus is going to walk up to the kid with the teddy bear. He's basically just yelling at him, which I imagine he doesn't understand. And the next thing that happens is Seamus hands him a knife. The other little boy that's with them, who seems like he's a little bit older and wears a top hat for no reason, reaches out and says, "Labo, the buff best." I say, oh yes, no, I understand. It's fine. I hand him a cigar and a lighter.
Oh, but
Yep. Just deep breaths.
And
right
Pete,
in.
Pete leans back and smiles and then says, "Da, best about it."
Yeah. No hesitation.
And then
That's disgusting.
While Jono is coughing, you hand Mikey the dagger.
Yep.
He reaches out and grabs it, wipes away his tears with his teddy bear.
Yeah. You see, there's no need to cry when you could stab people. Make them cry.
Yeah.
There you go.
He just slowly shivs the teddy bear with the new dagger.
That's the way to do it.
Jesus, fuck. All right. Well, my job here is done. Let's go kill a leprechaun. That's not
He
me.
goes towards Jono, who's slaps his hand away.
Yay.
Seamus, you've done
Alright.
God's work here.
Yeah, I think so too. Bless me heart.
All right, so are you heading to the rainbow?
Yes.
Yeah, before we go, TB will say, Pete, I'll see you on the other side, and she'll put her druidcraft glasses down and fly away.
You stay out of trouble. Well, any trouble that they can pin to you, eh?
Always.
You all fly off and leave me here. Like,
Just fly out of the room immediately, and you
well, I guess I'm feckin' walking.
pick up your cauldron.
Come on.
All right, you make it out of the Neverhome and out into the Fey Wilds proper, heading in the direction of the storm. You walk for about an hour or so until you feel the rain starting to come down, and about another half an hour or so before you're close enough to the rainbow that you know that you're coming up on old Billem's house, as it were. You realize that he, living in a rainbow, lives in basically like a little cloud home that's, you know, like a perfect kid's drawing of a little cloud with a rainbow coming out the top. And it's only like a half rainbow that goes up and just kind of fades out of existence. It's only the quarter of the rainbow, as it were. So you're going to need to get up to that cloud. Not a problem for the three that can fly.
Isn't it amazing how he can build a whole house of all the smoke that people blow up his arse?
Very funny, Seamus.
How are you
Well-
gonna get up?
Can I step on the rainbow? Is that something leprechauns can do? I don't know.
You can, but it's not touching the ground in any way. It stops at a cloud that is in the sky about 100 feet up.
Right.
Well,
And then it
Seamus,
fades out.
Seamus, like we discussed before, we could try our secret move where you get in your cauldron and all three of us will lift you up like an airlift.
It's a tad humiliating for you, darling, but I'm afraid we have no other choice. Hop in.
Seamus takes a moment and he says, all right, but Billum can't see this.
Understood.
No
There's
promises.
there's a moment of thankfulness that your cauldron is half empty still, so you can actually still get into it.
Yep, I crawl in. I kind of move some of the moss that I use to like pad my my treasure, and I like pop in. I got my like hands, my
It's on the edge of the cauldron lip. All right, the three of you. It's going to be a collective athletics check, please.
Oh my god, I'm so
So
sorry.
each of you roll an athletics check. I'm adding the numbers together, and we're going to see how well you do.
This is how we kill Seamus. Dropping him.
When we get his goal, it's fine.
That's it.
Oh my god.
a wrecking ball.
No.
It's gonna be a 3 for Regina.
Luckily, Evelyn's face definitely says that was a good roll, right?
Well,
I'm
that
a
is a
5.
4.
A 3, a 4, and a 5. Is that right?
Don't let go! Don't let go!
Okay, so with a 3, a 4, and a 5, you struggle to get him up off the ground, but you persevere. With the wings flapping, there's like fairy dust just like away from you in every which way, and then the cauldron starts to lift up on one side and then just tips over, spilling you and your gold out onto the ground.
This is not how Seamus dies. He was right.
Thankfully, you failed on the first check, because this was going to be a series of checks. If you'd have succeeded on the first and the second, and then failed on the third, that's when you would have taken serious fall damage.
Makes sense.
All right, so instead, they just fail to even get you up off the ground, and your cauldron tips, and you are tipped out of your cauldron. You're going to have to think of another way up. You got any magic?
I've got this. I'm going to tie a rope to the cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Always check the wind.
Since you've made a point of it, as you check the wind, you notice that the wind is particularly turbulent here, more so than usual. It seems like it's erratic weather. This was going to become more apparent as you got closer to the cloud, but since you made a point of checking it at ground level, the wind you notice is a little unnatural around his rainbow.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Catapult, launching the cauldron with me attached to the rope, and just.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have you make a spellcasting check, and this is going to determine your aim essentially with your catapult.
All right.
Well, can I inspire him?
You can. What do you do to inspire him? Is it a little song, a ditty, a limerick, poem?
Gather round, gather round. I'm going to share with all of you a poem about my ex-husband. Come in
Here we
close,
go.
darlings. Come in close.
Again.
Can I say that this inspires me to leave quicker?
The petals of flowers by gentle rains showered. I hope that you die, you spineless coward. You're weak, feeble-minded, and lacking in grit, with nary a chance of finding the clit. And I'll strum on my lute.
All right, you get a bardic inspiration, Dag, and
1d8.
and Jess, you get a DM inspiration.
Amazing.
Woo!
Amazing.
Mic drop, bitches. Don't mess with Regina Vagina.
And somewhere in the world, your husband gets a D4 psychic damage from Vicious Mockery, a long-range Vicious Mockery. 2 points of psychic damage, which I'm going to write down, but for reasons unknown.
That is a 26.
Oh, wow. You see this catapult set off and then almost split Seamus in two when it suddenly goes taut. He is whoosh, sent after it into the air. The cauldron slams into the side of the building on top of the cloud in the sky. There's some stonework falls off of this like candy house. Some like gumdrop buttons fall off the side. And you're sort of like dangling from the rope underneath the cloud. The three of you sort of fly up and help get him actually up and onto the proper cloud as is. And you are in front of the small sort of chalet that is at the very end of the rainbow on top of this cloud. The first thing you notice is that the door is wide open, the front door. What do you do?
Seamus, is your Blarney friend, whatever his name is?
Baloney.
Billum.
His name is Bastard McGee.
Look, I'm not hungry.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
I said I'm not hungry.
Oh, well, that's perfect then, because we don't have time to eat. I don't know why you're sharing random facts.
Talking about baloney. What the hell are you talking about?
This is like a pretend misunderstanding followed by a real misunderstanding, and it's led to so many layers of misunderstanding.
It's great.
Seamus, is your friend Blarney trappy? Should I check for traps? Do you think it's weird the door's just open?
He lives on a cloud.
That's true. You don't really have too much of a breaking and entering problem, except for maybe pigeons. All right.
Well, I'm gonna check anyways, just to be safe. TV's gonna go and check and see if like the door is cool.
All right.
Oh, also watch out. He might just jump out and stab you. He's not really a trap. He's just a wanker.
I'll stab him first. I always stab first, Seamus.
Make
Right.
an investigation check.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. So you notice that the surroundings around you very chaotic. The wind and the rain is driving in ways that it shouldn't. Like even above this cloud that you're standing on, the rain is still around. There's definitely something affecting the weather here. The door and the house seems intact. The door is not. The door seems like it's been booted in with force. There's splintered wood where the lock would be. Definitely no traps. It doesn't look like the door was splintered by a trap. It looks like somebody's just forced it in. The next thing you notice is there's blood right in the middle of the hallway. As you walk up to check the door for traps, you notice that there's blood leading into the house.
TV will mutter to herself, looking at the gusting winds that are making her little hair pieces spin. One day the wind will be mine. And she'll say, good news, Seamus!
Seamus
You might be dead already!
Seamus rushes in. There's kind of a look of like horror on his face as he's like, oh no. I reach down and I touch the blood and then I put it to my lips and I'm like, does it taste like marshmallows?
It does.
Oh no. I follow the trail of blood.
You follow the trail of blood into Billum's house, and you see Billum slumped over his desk. It seems like he's unmoving, his body just like over his desk with just a gaudy amount of gold piled behind him. Just like huge just opulent displays of wealth behind him. And he is slumped down, unmoving on his desk, and there's some blood coming from around his head area.
Oh no. Oh, Philip. I start walking towards him and I said, no, Philip, no, Philip! I was supposed to kill you.
Oh, Seamus, for God's sake.
I take his shirt and I'm just like...
You blow your nose into his shirt, and as you do so, he kind of like slumps back off of the desk and like loosely hangs over his back over the chair behind, and you can see that the blood is mostly coming from a broken nose. He doesn't have puncture wounds on his neck or anything. He's just been beaten to the face.
At that point, I'll just be like, oh, wait, waste not, what not.
You start filling your pot with his gold.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Oh, don't you fucking dare. Oh, I got a 5.
Roll low.
Should have seen that coming. I mean,
what'd you get?
5.
You got a 5. All right. You fill your pot with gold, and there's more gold than can possibly fit in your pot. You continue to fill that pot with gold. Even though there's more gold than can fit in this pot, it does not occur to you that the pot never fills as you are filling the gold into the pot. You've managed to get all of this exorbitant amount of wealth behind him into your pot, and it all seems to fit without raising the level of the gold in your pot at all. The rest of you, while Seamus is taking a considerable amount of time to do that, what are you guys doing?
Well,
Evelyn's gonna go inspect the body.
All right, make a medicine check for me, please.
That is a 17.
Take his hat. 17. You investigate while in the middle of your investigation. Seamus says, "Just excuse me." Takes his hat, takes his leprechaun bowler hat, whatever.
Yep.
His little felt top hat. Evelyn, you can tell with a 17 that he has been beaten. His face, in particular, has taken a punch or two, and that's the thing that's. It seems like he answered the door, got punched in the face, and then his nose was the blood that you were following into the room. And then, other than that, no other puncture wounds or breaks or damage to the body in any way. It does not seem like the blood is the cause of the death. It does seem like something else did it, and you're not exactly sure.
Well, just to be sure. Evelyn takes out a dagger, just like gives him 2 quick stabs, and then puts it back in her robes. As you stab into the torso, there is a hissing sound as you puncture a lung, and it does not seem like it's hissing from within. It seems like it's a sucking sound. As you bring your dagger out, it seems like the air is rushing in to fill a vacuum that was in his lungs.
Gross.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah, you're telling me.
You go to the head and realize there's nothing around the head, neck, or throat. No damage to the actual torso physically, but it seems there was no air in the body.
So,
Gina, what do you make out of all this?
Well, I don't know. It looks like it was a spell. You're the wizard, aren't you? Yes, you're the wizard.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't know. I just stab things and sneak around.
I'll say anybody who wants to can make a history check as well, or an Arcana check as well. Like actually 2 different things. Make both if you want.
I'll go
It's a 2.
I'll go for Arcana. Ooh,
You can make both.
1.
They're actually for different information.
Okay.
So
No.
my Arcana check then was a 16.
Okay.
History is a 18.
Okay, so with your Arcana check, you can tell that there are certain, not spells per se, but there are certain air elemental-like effects that can do this, where somebody can manipulate the air around even within a person if they're powerful enough. And the air could have been sucked from their body through use of elemental magic. Thinking about who or what would be powerful enough to do that. With your history check, you are you are reminded of the fact that there is a druid who lives in a grove nearby called Lionflower, and Lionflower is probably the one to talk to about this unnatural weather that's happening around Billem's house. It seems like the unnatural weather would probably be connected to the use of air elemental magic.
Okay. For the sake of saving time, I relay in a loud, obnoxious
But it's
way.
a lot longer when Evelyn relays the information.
Yeah.
Long enough that Seamus has finished filling all of the gold into the cauldron. TV, anything you were doing?
No, but I think she'll say in response to this information, I have one request for everyone. When we find, because I'm assuming we're going to go look for this air elemental, right?
It was an air elemental. You don't know.
Well,
What do you want?
if we find the air elemental, before we stab and murder the air elemental, I need to get some information because I want to figure out how to control the same type of winds and airs that they do. So I just want to threaten them first. Then we can, Seamus, if you want to burn them alive, that's fine after I get the information.
Oh my
All right,
god.
all right. That does fine. Sounds fine with me.
Another errand then. Is there
All of
anything
you
on
to
his
assume
desk?
I like you that much.
Yeah, there's a there's a ledger on his desk, like a big leather-bound thing that keeps a track of like people who owe him money and all sorts of stuff like that.
Let's see what you were up to, and she'll look on his desk.
Yeah, you have a look at that. You can. It's a lot of information to go through, so give me an investigation check to see how well you glean the appropriate information in the quick time that you're looking.
That's a 21.
Oh, yes. All right. So I will just bullet point it for you. You learned that he was definitely working directly for the Blue Tune Archfey. He is someone who handles her treasury, as it were. He has a lot of people working for him as enforcers, most of them satyrs. You can see Tita is on there in one of the most recent entries to the book, and he was sent to collect debt from Chunda. And then there's a little note scribbled in the margin. After Chunda's body, take the debt from Evelyn. She should be able to pay, and if not, send a message.
Interesting. Evelyn, darling, come here.
What do you want?
What do you make of this? Here, I'll give her my glasses.
So she kind of doubles up the glasses. So she's got, like these big, just imagine big old granny eyes. You have a pen.
Why?
There's pens on his
Hold
desk.
I think I know.
There's an ink
Here we
pen and a
go.
quill.
She grabs a pen and she just like checks off like it's been done. There we go.
Just a completed, like somebody's gonna come and be like, I wonder if he collected his debts before he died and was stabbed in the lung and all of his gold was taken. Let me just check his books. Oh yeah, no, he finished his work at least.
You never know.
You never know.
You're missing the point. Am I to understand that Billum was working for the Archfey and looking for money from you? Is that out of game? Is that what's happening here?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Well, that's what it says.
You guys have all worked for the
Okay.
Archfey at times as well,
Alright,
but
alright.
he seems to be on her employ as a
Well,
more permanent job.
Did Chunda owe money to the Archfey? Whatever for?
I never dabbled.
That is the information. That is sort of the conclusion you would come to. Yes.
I've never dabbled in his books. He was a genius.
Well,
Sure, he owed
perhaps
some
you should.
people some money, but his work speaks for itself. He doesn't need. You should be so. She just starts like rambling
about
You
how
know,
good
he's
Chunda
a-
was at his job, and he should be so lucky to get surgery from him.
Exactly.
And what was that? What was that thing you said about Chunder's body? I missed that.
Like once he's dead,
Oh,
because
okay.
he's dead, you'll
Because
have to
he's
go
dead,
collect from
okay.
Evelyn.
All right.
Yeah, in the margin of the collect from Chunda was collect from his wife instead, his widow.
Well, do we think that we'll learn more from this air elemental or from Chunda's associate?
There was the There was the druid as well, the lion flower, who knows about air
That's
magic
right,
and
that's what it
elemental
was,
and
yeah.
weather things.
What do we think?
I think we should go see Lion Hauser.
Yes, all right. I suppose.
I want to steal all the air magic that I can.
No one cares.
And this is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine.
Seamus, as you,
I'm gonna grab like the ledger from Regina's hand and say, "This is mine, and that is mine." And
just straight up put it in the pot.
and then I'm also gonna go, "What does it have in it? Filthy pockets." And I'm just gonna start rooting around in his
Rooting
jacket.
around in his pocket. You pull out a vial of basically a leprechaun-specific antidote, so that if you change into Cluricon or Fardarig, as the two different things can happen, you can drink this to turn back into leprechaun.
Oh, someone's going on to piss tonight. Right. I'm gonna
Hair of
put
the
that.
dog antidote immediately.
Yep. And then I'm going to also steal his jacket.
You do so. Nice, really nice looking green jacket. You also see that there was a rainbow crown hanging on the wall that he wasn't wearing when he was killed, but he has nearby.
I look as if I'm going to go get it, but I don't take it.
Because you haven't earned it.
No, exactly. It's like I would be back for you. And I'm gonna check the drawers of the table, but I'm gonna actually like push his chair backwards so he falls backwards, and then it just and just open up the drawers.
You open up the drawers. You find a small key and a small chest. And in that, as you put the key into the chest and open it, you see that it's actually an extra dimensional space inside this chest, in
I'm going
which
to point
there
out
is
that this
a
is
small.
the stupidest security system ever, to put the chest with the key right next to one another.
If this was not a one shot and I wasn't running out of time already, it might have been in a different location, mate. May be in my notes that you have to succeed on some sort of investigation checks and things to find it, but we're out of time, so
It's on a cloud.
cut to the chase. You find the chest. In the chest, there is a cauldron down the bottom of it, and the cauldron is just up to the brim with gold.
Oh, son of a bitch! You watch as
It's
these
at this
feet
moment-
stick out of this
It's
chest.
it's at this moment that you turn to look at your cauldron and realize that all of the fool's gold that you'd been using has disappeared as you've been putting it into your cauldron.
Oh, I've been
And his
doing.
real gold was hidden in this cauldron. But you
I take the
do,
gold.
you see him disappear into this tiny chest that's only just big enough for his shoulders to fit in. His little legs sticking out of this chest. And then a moment later, the three of you realize he's stuck. You go and grab him by the boots and pull him back out again. And he brings this
I
pot of
got
gold
it!
with him.
I fucking got it!
Well, good for you, Seamus, but we have to hurry up. We don't have a lot of time left in the episode, damn it.
Oh, fuck you, Nan! I'm rich.
All right.
I'll still help you. I'm just like I'm just.
Yeah, I'm off. Goodbye. You pour his gold into yours. It starts to overflow. You're like, oh, that's right. And you dig back down into yours, get all the moss out of it. Now I can use full. I can fill it with full gold, and it fills to the brim with gold. Real leprechaun gold.
Yes, I'm gonna throw the thing across like garbage. I'm gonna throw his like cauldron away.
The cauldron just cracks his ribs as you drop it on his corpse.
All right.
All right, you make your way
Right.
back out of his house and in the direction of the druid grove nearby that you know belongs to the druid lion flower. In terms, just a time check for me, how much longer have we got?
We're good till we're good till 11. You can go a little bit over. It's fine. Yeah.
Cool. So another 3 hours. That's what I'm hearing. So you make your way in the direction you know between you. It's easy enough to get off of this cloud and back down into the Fey Wilds proper. You eventually find Lionflower's druid grove, and it is surrounded by a ring of water, a moat, if you will. And there is a beautiful sound coming from this moat. I need each of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh. That's not good. Ooh, 9. 9 for me.
Ooh. 6.
18.
3.
Okay, Evelyn, you're the only one who succeeds on your save against the siren song. As these beautiful sirens in the moat start to sing and lure the other three of you in, you feel compelled to get to the water and to be with these beautiful women. And as you get to the water's edge, they come out of the water to greet you, grab a hold of you, and start to pull you in. Evelyn, you see this happening. What do you do?
I'm gonna cast web. So they can't get into the water, like just above the water
and like
surface.
entangle these guys.
Yeah.
All right. It's a dexterity saving throw or something.
Yeah, dex save. Yeah.
All right. So I'll roll for the sirens. You guys can roll dex
So
saves.
as she sees it happening, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You want to get into the water, so you are going to try and make this dex save.
14.
Oh my god, I rolled a nat 20.
I rolled an 18.
15 save. So if anybody,
Oh, so
15
14 will fail. I'll fail. I'm
14
stuck.
will fail.
All right. Seamus gets stuck in the web. But TB sees it coming and flies up off of the ground as the web takes over the ground. And you're like, no, I want to go into the water.
Yeah,
So
TB
you're going to
puts
be
her.
dragged into the water. Regina, what did you get?
I got an 18. So
18. You're also, you managed to avoid the webbing, get into the water. The three sirens, however, did not succeed. With the highest one was a 14. So you see that they grab a hold of you and they try and bring back in, but the web kind of comes off of the shore and out into the water a little bit and kind of gets them stuck somewhat as they try and manipulate you into the water. They are going to be able to drag you into, or like turn around at least and plunge you into the water on their next turn. You have one more round to try and save the three people who are not yourselves yet.
10.
Okay.
Damn.
10. You continue to fail, Regina. You really want to get into this water?
It's a dex save, sorry? I forget.
No, this is a wisdom save. You're repeating the
wisdom.
siren song save.
Sorry, 16 for me.
16. You manage to blink out of it just as you're sort of diving into the water. You get to the water's edge and think, no, I don't like getting my wings wet, actually. Can't fly too well. And you pull up. Seamus?
5.
5. You also, I thought you were saying, I thought you were putting your hand up.
It's me. It's no. I can honestly just display all of my rolls today, like with one hand. Like,
Seamus, you're really struggling against this thing. Seamus, can you make a strength check to see if you can break from the webbing? Regina, you weren't trapped in the webbing, so you plunge into the water. What's your constitution modifier, please?
My constitution modifier is a 1.
You will be suffocating in one round because with the siren song, they did not give you basically your need to get into the water did not give you the thought to to take a big deep breath beforehand.
the water.
Yeah, you're singing along with them. You will survive for one round before you are dropped to 0 and suffocated. TB, you pull yourself out of it in this moment. However, one of them was grappling you. She is going to, on her turn, try and pull you into the water with a contested strength check. Can you make me a strength check, please? You can make it athletics if you wish.
Well, that is a 4.
I didn't roll well, but it's better than a 4. As you are plunged into the water, what is your constitution score, please? Your constitution modifier?
It's also +1.
+1. I will say that you get 2 rounds because you had a brief moment of before they managed to. So you got slightly more breath in your lungs to begin with.
was that a natural 1?
No.
can't even get powerful.
No.
All right, Evelyn, back to you. You've seen 2 of your friends get dunked under the water, and Seamus is still trying to break his way loose of this. What did you get on your strength
I'm gonna
check?
bite the web.
What did you get on your strength check to get out of it, Seamus?
9.
A 9. Yeah, thankfully. That's when you want to roll poorly. You're trying to get out of it, and you're just not. Just sticking. You bite the web, and it's like big sticky toffee, and your mouth's stuck together now. Evelyn?
For God's sakes, just gonna cast Scorching Ray.
Evelyn, as you
level.
cast Scorching Ray, it also the magic within you. You're familiar with it, having studied magic. You're also familiar with sort of the different power levels, spell slots, if you will. You feel like you have a lesser wish, something that can cast a 6th level spell or less of any particular spell that you want. That's up to 6th level. For a moment, you think, why have I got access to this power? And you realize you've just caught a leprechaun.
Oh shit! I caught a leprechaun. I didn't even think about that.
So as you
Amazing.
cast
That's
Scorching
amazing.
Ray, you can up it to level 6 if you want, or you can cast something else, another 6th level spell, or you can hold on to it.
That's the best I got. So yeah, I'll do it at 6th level.
Okay. All of these Scorching Rays, for brevity's sake, they plow into the sirens that are kind of caught in the webbing as well. They let go of Regina and TB. Regina, you're happily just under the water singing those, so you don't get to the surface. TB, on your turn, you can get back to the surface. It's pretty. What did we say your wings look like?
We didn't, but they are black with a little bit of like sparkly.
A little bit of sparkly, and are they like dragonfly, moss, butterfly? Dragonfly wings. So they like flicker and try and get the water off, and you kind of like hopping along the water's edge to get to the shore. You are no longer suffocating. The sirens are the scorching fire has burned off most of their webbing, so they just give up on singing their songs and disappear back under the water. They come up on the other side and they say something in a siren-like language. It's like a dialect of Sylvan, so you kind of understand it. And they were like, "It was just a joke. It was only a joke. We were only playing." Regina, you are still under the water though. If anybody can't do anything to Seamus, with them stopping singing, you are no longer desiring to get into the water. Regina,
Okay.
however, even though they've stopped singing, because you're under the water, you don't hear that they've stopped singing, so you're still just under the same effect of them, and so you're just happily just drowning. So Seamus, it's on you. Basically,
So Seamus walks up and says, "Oh, that's real funny, you think? Right, I've got a bit of a joke for you as well. Shocking grasp in the water."
Okay, roll damage.
I swear by all the powers that be. It's
Oh my
3.
god.
3 damage. All right. Well, the 3 damage is doubled to 6 because it's
On
in the water.
2d8.
Regina, you take 6 damage, as do both of the sirens. Because you've taken damage, the siren effect ends on you. You've used your 1 round now, and you are essentially suffocating. I'm gonna basically roll a contested initiative check. If you can roll higher than I roll, then you make it to the surface before dropping to 0.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, Regina.
That's gonna be an 8 for Regina.
I got a 4 on the dice. So and because it was an environmental thing, there's no
Oh.
modifiers. Just a
Hi,
4.
bingo partner.
All right, so Regina, just as you're starting to black out, as you come to, just being shocked, your face breaches the surface, and you are back into the world. The first thing you kind of blink water from your eyes to see is that there is a beautiful elven, sort of Eladrin woman who is standing in the middle of this island between this moat. You obviously, from context, know that this is the druid Lionflower, who says, "I don't think it was a very funny joke. I've told you to stop trying to kill my guests. Please, I'm so sorry. Come this way." And she kind of waves her hand, and these stepping stones appear out of the water, over all the way over to you.
As
Please,
we walk, I'd just
please,
like to say
leprechaun,
this-
sir, could you stop trying to kill my sirens? Continually.
All right. It's like, all right, we were going to talk to you about something. You there? Did you kill a satyr?
No, I didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure. I've never killed a satyr in my life. But
Shit.
please come on in and explain. And then you cast the exposition cantrip, and she gets all of the information to date.
Mhm.
She says, "Oh, I see. Yes, I did notice there was weather magic happening on the horizon. I assumed it meant that the Windward one was back. Finally, everybody make a religion check for me, please."
That's not 1.
14.
18.
16.
1.
I
Sorry.
think everybody but Seamus would have heard of the Windward one as one of sort of, in this world, in the Feywild anyway, the Archfey are almost godlike. They are, they're in their powers, they are supreme essentially. People do celebrate the gods in the Feywild, but not nearly as much as they do the Archfey. In that respect, people who sort of deign to learn things from the Archfey become almost demigod in their abilities. The Windward one was a number of years ago, decades ago, was a creature that was coming up through the ranks and who had learned the powers over the wind and in particular the weather and the wind. And then in a mercurial way, as the wind changes direction on a dime, the Windward one changed his desire to continue learning and disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to him or where he went, but he just kind of took off the face of the Feywild, as it were. And the druid, the Lionflower tells you that she feels like he might be back finally, with all of these sort of strange disturbances in the wind.
So, question: if we find him and I kill him, do I take his powers?
Yes, I suppose it would. There's a ritual involved with the corpse, but I wouldn't. Is that something you would really want to go? Like, you would be beholden to the Archfey that gave him those powers. You would essentially just be taking his place.
I would kill the Archfey and become the god of the wind.
She looks around to be like, no, let's see. Just checking that nobody's here. They can hear you saying that.
Look. There's an old leprechaun saying: if violence isn't solving your problems, you're simply just not using enough.
Exactly, Seamus.
If this is really the path you wish to take, then I can take you to him. I know where he is. He's in the area, and I am in touch with all of the forest. I could send you right to him, but I'm sending you to him for diplomacy reasons. You understand? To investigate whatever it is you're doing. I'm not going to be involved in any sort of murder.
Right. We're going to investigate. Then we'll let him go.
Yes, as far as that's
right.
My understanding.
We're not going to be involved in any murder either.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I thought we were going to kill him. I'm so confused.
I'm going to assume that you're not going to kill him, and therefore I feel in good conscience I can send you to him.
Yes, if you could.
You understand what you're saying, though, right? If it is indeed the Windward one and he is back, you're trying to attack, you're going to die. You understand that, right?
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Well,
What do you say, Lionhauser?
Well, do you have any tricks?
She waves her hand in front of her, and out from the ground sprouts this vine, kind of snakes up, sort of snake charmer style, towards you. She plucks it off, about a foot of it at the end, and then it sprouts these beautiful plum red berries. You're all familiar with the spell Goodberry. And she says, these should hopefully keep you alive if you decide to retreat. Of course, I can get you there. I'm not bringing you back. So you'll have to be surviving the wilderness long enough to get back on your own. Who's going to take the Goodberry vine?
I'll take it.
Regina, you have 10 Goodberries, which will help at a moment's notice. If any of you go to 0, you can plop one in somebody's mouth and chew it for them. Mama bird. And then she walks over to the nearby tree that's standing, like this single solitary tree that's standing on her little island of this grove. And she runs the back of her fingernail down it, and like a zip, it opens up. And she says, well, no time like the present.
Just one last question. Does he have any weaknesses?
Anything other than the storm, I would say.
That's great odds, actually. Thank you.
I would say try not to use lightning and thunder on him. He's probably not going to be injured too much by that.
But stabbing. Stabbing's good, though, right?
Well, I did say don't, and she zips the tree back up again. I did say don't. You understand the situation that's going on between you and I, right? I can't be involved in the death of this.
You have no tact. We won't harm anybody, of course.
Good. She zips the tree again.
Thank you,
Please,
darling.
after you.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Mwah, mwah. Into the tree. As you all head through this portal, you are taken to a large forest, far from the duskwood side that you were on. It seems like you're in a different part of the Feywild entirely. And as you step out of a nearby tree, the sun is much higher in the sky in this point. It seems like it's perpetually sort of mid-evening time. And in this sort of large clearing within this this forest of much hardier trees, things that can survive for longer without a steady supply of rain. You can see that sitting on a log with his back to you, Chunder. And as he hears the tree open, he turns and is startled, and then kind of covers his face quickly, and but it's unmistakable. It is Chunder. Even the three of you recognize him from the portraits that were up on the wall of Evelyn and Chunder.
Chunder? Is that you?
No, definitely not Chunder. Don't know anyone by that name. I haven't been. How did you get here, Evelyn? I mean, whoever you are. Ah, shit.
Oh, my mistake.
He drops his.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, you look like someone.
Nowadays.
You look like someone I was married to for many decades.
Look like somebody I used to know. Is all.
He realizes the game's up, and he drops his hand and says, "I'm sorry, Evelyn. Regina, you're here too."
Yes, Chunder, great to see you. You're looking well for a corpse.
He is looking well, and unlike the last time you've seen him, which was quite a while ago, he now has large, thick sideburns as well. Very similar to the sideburns that your ex-husband has.
These are a new
Wait.
addition.
What? He holds his hand to his face and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then his sideburns disappear into his face, and he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize. God damn it."
Fascinating.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm going to hit him with my shillelagh now.
He
stops moving.
He drops his
Staring
hands
up
and says,
hysterical.
I didn't mean for this to get out of hand like it has." And as he's speaking, his shape kind of changes somewhat down to the spitting image visage of Lord Fatbottom, your husband, your ex-husband. He says, "I'm sorry. I suppose it's time I come clean.
Wait,
I'm
now.
not exactly who either of you think I was, and I was married to both of you at the same time." His face changes somewhat, and he grows into a much different form than either of you have seen him in before. And you see a changeling. You guys in the Feywild are familiar with changelings, but you rarely see them in their real forms. You see him, he's standing there, he's very humanoid in appearance. He has a very sort of stark white skin, like paper white. And he says, "I'm actually a being by the name the Wayward One, the Windward One. I decided for a change of life, I wanted to settle down and see what the regular folk lived like."
I could give two fucks. Where are my dogs?
Oh, they're safe, and they're my dogs, Regina. We've been over this. The lawyers decided that I spent more time with them than you. I fed them more than you did. They're my dogs. And you see that there are two little teacup poodles sitting sort of at the side of the clearing.
David!
And he's seemingly...
Rayna!
So,
Mommy's coming!
can you make an animal handling check, please, to see if they will come to you or him as you call the dogs from your ex-husband?
That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Ooh.
What?
I need to
While
check
this is
these
happening, I want to have Seamus over by TB with like a bucket of popcorn and just like watching like, this, like, oh my god, did you know that? I didn't know that. I did not see that coming. That two-timing hussy.
I got a 21.
Oh my god, David Rayna!
They start to sort of bound over excitedly towards you, and he says, "Heel!" And they both sort of stop and kind of look at him, and he goes, "Sit!" And they sit down. And he says, "See, they love me more than you, Regina. They always have."
I cast suggestion on the dogs.
I like that you're not testing it on him.
Wow.
You're testing it on the dogs. I love it. Okay. Wisdom save.
16.
Ooh, David gets a 20 and Rayna gets a 10 plus modifiers, which won't be enough. So Rayna fails and David succeeds. What is the suggestion?
Come here, Rayna. Come to mommy.
Come here, mommy. And they
Good
both
girl.
sort of set off, but David kind of stops and looks back.
Whatever, David.
And Rayna runs across the lawn and he says, "God damn it, Regina, you will not take this from me!" And as he does this, you see this storm cloud starting to swirl overhead as he's starting to control the weather. "I will not lose them I will not lose my entire lives. Again and again, I have taken on different lives and lived them out to their fullest. And I just had enough. I needed to leave. Evelyn, I'm sorry. I know that I left you in a pickle. People would come after you, so I wanted to make it look like you had killed the Satyr Tita. I wanted to make it look like you were capable of defending yourself if anybody came for you. And I'm sorry to leave you such a mess in your kitchen. I'm sure you can clean it up. But for now, I have my own mess to clean up. And he raises himself off the floor. And the storm starts to swirl. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
Can I cast, as he's flying up, can I cast invisibility and just go punk and just disappear?
He's like, this is your fight. See you later.
Yeah, I've got my happy ending.
Oh, damn.
All right. Anyone above a 20?
23!
Dirty 20.
Hey!
I finally got a nat 20.
All right. Seamus, and then a dirty 20 from who? Sorry, Regina, was it?
Yeah.
Yep, Regina next. And then
13 for me.
13. So that's for TB. So that'll be TB, and then it'll be... And then what'd you get, Evelyn?
9. She doesn't want to fight.
Oh.
Evelyn loves Chunder.
Yeah, I thought it would be an interesting moral quandary for you. All right, so as he takes to the sky, this storm cloud raging overhead, Seamus, you're up first. You disappear as your sort of preparatory action that you were like just invisible yourself. What do you want to do on your turn?
Okay, because this is not my fight, I do not wish to be the one to instigate it. So I am going to go steal a couple of very small dogs. I wish to use sleight of hand to put the dogs in my pot.
All right, so I will say that with your bonus and your action to bonus dash, you can get up behind where he was to where David is very obediently sitting, and then you can start to lift him up. I'll have you make an animal handling check to see if you can pick him up without him making a big kerfuffle and drawing attention to yourself.
Can I petition sleight of hand?
I will say that it can be a dexterity-based animal handling check.
I'll take that.
Unbelievable.
The Raiders.
Come on, please. Ah, why? Wait, what's that for? Oh, I think I got an advantage from something. I don't know what, but it's an 11.
Interesting way to play D&D.
I
had advantage in my pocket.
No. Okay, so I had invisibility active, right? And then I just
invisibility would give you advantage, but not.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
dexterity
wondering. I didn't realize that it gave me advantage. But that's an 11.
It would give you advantage on an attack roll, but not the roll that I asked for.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was very confusing because D&D Beyond rolled it at advantage for some reason. Without advantage, it was a 6.
A 6. You do pick up the dog. The dog, however, freaks out, understandably. It's a tiny little teacup poodle, and something invisible has grabbed it. It starts to... and the guy turns around and looks down in your direction. That was your whole turn. Regina, it's now your turn.
I am going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Ooh, nice. All right, wisdom save from him. That is a 14, which will fail, I believe.
Yes. It does fail. And he's going to take 5 psychic damage.
5 points of psychic damage on top of the 2 that he took earlier from your viciously saying that he can't find it.
Can I tell him a poem?
Yes, you can.
Boy.
Poppy seeds, pinpricks, the wings of a bee, a list of things bigger than your little pee-pee. Gummy bears, pudding, a small soggy stick, a list of things firmer than your flaccid prick.
I love it.
So
He's
spicy.
going to take double damage from that. He's going to take double damage, and that is going to be 10 points of psychic damage to him he's floating up. And he says, "It's a problem that we all suffer with. It's totally natural and normal. I was stressed. Regina, I've been under a lot of stress leading a double life and being married to 2 women. I just wasn't in the mood." All right, that is your turn. Now it is the lair action. Each of you must make a dexterity saving throw as thin lightning bolts crackle from the sky and slam down at each of you.
19.
19 succeeds, and with evasion, do you have evasion? No, you're not the rogue. You're
No, I'm a bard. I just got lucky.
So 19 will succeed. You will take half, so you'll take 4 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Everybody else?
19 for me.
19, that also succeeds. You take 4 points as well because you. Oh, no, none for you because you're a rogue.
Yeah, but I don't have evasion.
Oh, evasion comes at level 7, so you don't have it yet. Yes. So 4 points of damage to you.
Evelyn rolled a 7.
7, that fails. You take 8 points of lightning damage.
Seamus,
13.
Why?
Seamus, because of the yapping dog, he knew where you were, and because it's a lair action, it just automatically crackles 2 creatures in the area.
But I've got
13 was
a
it?
dog in my hand.
You do, yes. 13 was it?
Yeah.
You take 8 points of lightning damage.
Can I drop the dog in my cauldron so that the dog doesn't take damage?
Sure. You're playing an evil campaign, but you want to save the dog. You always try to save the dog, even
no,
if you're
look,
an evil
I'll
character.
kill kids. I will kill people, but God help you if you injure a dag.
A dag. All right. That is the lair action. It is now TB's turn.
What are the chances that Seamus is within 5 feet of our
I
friend
would
here?
let me roll for it. 100%. Oh, look at that. He's definitely.
Oh, wow,
losing.
what an uncanny thing to happen right there.
What an uncanny thing to happen.
So coincidental. TV will put her goggles down and say, "The wind will be mine," and she will fly.
Anime style again.
Yeah, her little things.
Dagger out.
Yeah.
All right, you're going for a sneak attack.
Yeah.
All right, you fly right at him. Firstly, when you come into 10 feet of him, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as the wind, you realize, is whipping around him rather fast. He has an aura that you have to get through.
Okay. 21.
21, you manage
yeah.
to push through the wind and actually get up to 5 feet from him. And then you can make your attack.
Okay. As she's flying through the wind, she says, "The wind is my friend!" That is a 18 to hit.
18 hits, roll damage.
Okay. So, sneak attack. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. Oh, wow. Okay. Damn, sneak attacks, yo.
And bonus action, she will then, just like she did to get around the corner, turn around with her other arm straight out, make a full circle, and use her other short sword.
Awesome bonus attack.
So that one.
Oh.
Nat 1. Seamus. Seamus, Dag. Nat 1.
Yeah, okay, you can read it.
I can read both.
You watch as I take out a gold coin and I flip it into the air, and you get a reroll.
It comes down a tail side up this time and reverses some of nature that had just happened, as is the luck of a leprechaun.
Amazing. That's a little better. 11. Oh shoot. Oh, 18. Sorry, I was looking at the other short sword.
18 hits. Roll damage.
All right. That is 10.
10 points of damage. Nice.
Yep.
All right. Stab. And then at the end of your turn, no save allowed, unfortunately, just the aura of him. You get pushed back 10 feet so that you are no longer within melee of him. It is then his turn. The aura around him as his action will pick up, and wind will start to whip around this clearing. Everyone within 30 feet of him, which I'm going to say is everybody, including the dog Rayna, will have to make dexterity saving throws against bludgeoning damage as stones and chips of bark are starting to pick up. Dexterity saving throws from each of you, please.
I'd like to petition the GM.
Rayna failed.
Nat 20.
Petition the GM. That is what
I would like
you
to use Uncanny Dodge to take the damage for Rayna.
For the Rayna, yeah.
Yeah, and then kind of grab her and then
way.
Wait, no, wait. Okay, I don't mean Rayna. I mean the dog Rayna.
I know.
Okay, good. Just checking.
I understood
No,
from context.
TV's fine. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yes, you are next to him, so the wind is whoosh, but you are on the ground. And then you pick up the wind from behind you. You see the dog sort of getting lifted into the air because it's a tiny little teacup poodle, and whoosh, you just go with the wind, whoosh, and you put your body out, and you got pelted with your stones. So you are going to automatically fail your own saving throw, take full damage from it, but the dog will take none. What did everybody else get? I heard a nat 20 from someone.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 from Regina.
17.
17.
14.
Evelyn. 14. 14 will fail. Seamus automatically fails. So that's going to be 7 and another 9 is 16. 16 points to Evelyn and Seamus. 8 points to TB and Regina.
I will use my reaction to Uncanny Dodge to have the damage.
Uncanny Dodge only works against attacks. This is an area of effect,
Oh,
unfortunately.
sorry, my mistake.
So you take the damage as stones and bits of bark and wood chips are hit against you. It is back to the top of the round with Seamus.
All right.
The wind aura around him drops back down to 10 feet. At the end of his turn. Oh, Evelyn, did I not put you on the? I did not put you on the thing because you were last.
I'm gonna make such a difference in this
He
fight.
said Seamus.
Evelyn, your turn to go.
Evelyn sort of reaches out to him. Chunder, I want to be with you forever. We'll be forever together now. And she's gonna cast gaseous form, and you just hear. She turns into a green fog and just starts circling around his little aerial bubble.
All right, I love it. You are surrounding him. You are surrounding him, yes, and you see that those who are watching see that like a genuine form of emotion comes over his face. It seems like, unlike his not so fun marriage with Regina, he actually really cared for Evelyn. You're surrounding him in your green gaseous form. Seamus, it is your turn.
I've got Rayna in my hand. I kind
Rayna in your hands. Your pot is all the way back there with a little David sticking out of it.
Yep, I kind of rush over to the pot, and I'm gonna put Rayna in the pot, and I'm gonna pick up the pot. I'm gonna run, because I have 4 hit points left.
Okay. As you arrive, because you were adjacent for the sake of sneak attack from TB, it must mean that by getting back to the pot you end up adjacent to him. So you pick up the pot and leave. He's going to take an attack of opportunity.
Am I still invisible?
Yes, you are. So it's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
All right, I'll be kind. No attack. He gets no attack of opportunity. There's too much going on for him to hear the little pitter-patter.
In which case, I'll just make a stealth check as part of my thing. Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
And that's your turn. You just start moving the pot away.
Yeah. I got an 11 on my stealth because I rolled a 2, despite having a +9 to my goddamn freaking stealth.
What are you, Bob? As you run back over, your hands come down and pop the dog in the cauldron. He sees for a moment this second dog just appear in the cauldron, and then the cauldron disappears as you lift it up, and it becomes a held item, and so therefore disappears into your. So he knows where you are. Your stealth check has not beaten his passive perception, but he doesn't get an attack of opportunity as he kind of like swipes out and misses. And as he swipes out, by the way, the wind seems to coalesce up his arm and into like this swirling mist, and it seems to create a weapon. blows Billem's hat right off, and Billem's hat is now swirling around. Evelyn is wearing Billem's hat.
I love you.
All right, now it's back to the top of the round. Sorry, Seamus and then Regina. Regina.
Regina Vagina. Do I notice that he's stealing my dogs?
Yeah, you definitely notice that Seamus seems to pick up the dog, run back to his cauldron, put it in his cauldron, and then pick up the cauldron and it disappears.
Oh my god, I have to choose between the dogs and my revenge.
That's the high point of your.
Oh my god, I literally don't know what to do.
The fork in the road.
I'm gonna roll a d10 or a d20 to decide what I want to do because I don't know what to do.
By the way, this is probably what the best kind of rogue backstab looks like.
Revenge it is. You bastard! I'll yell after him, and then I'm going to use my action to eat some good berries.
You bastard! All right, how many are you eating?
I will eat one for now and see how
Okay.
I feel after.
I will tell you that in my games, because good berries offer you nutrition enough for a day, you can eat one, fine. You can eat two, and you feel a bit, oof, I've overeaten. If you eat three, you start making con saves against like stomach upset, essentially. If you eat four, there's a good chance you're taking like internal damage as your stomach is rupturing from too much nutrition, essentially.
Just
So
one.
One is fine. You get 1 hit point back, and you feel like you're full.
Oh,
What do you think was gonna happen?
I
It's a
thought
good
it would
berry.
be. I thought it would be more. I don't know what good berry is. Bob. Don't embarrass me. Okay?
Good berry is a spell that gives you and the best use for good berries is basically when somebody's down, you can just be like 1 point of hit points, you're back up on your feet.
But could you
learned
imagine
something
the
today.
gravestone killed by a good berry?
Killed by a good berry. All right, you pop your good berry in your mouth, you get 1 hit point back.
Okay, great,
Well done.
awesome.
Which of you are looking wounded, by the way? Less than half your hit points.
Me.
All right, everyone but TV.
But I'm a fart in the wind now, so.
You're a fart in the wind. All right. That was Regina's. It is now the lair action's turn. It is not going to do the lightning thing as that happened before. It is going to be basically the rain picks up, and everything in this whole clearing becomes difficult. Well, not difficult terrain, heavily obscured. That's the word. So ranged attacks will be at disadvantage. Stealth and things are actually at advantage, but you making attacks and stuff is more difficult as the rain is picking up and you can't see too much. Then it is TB's turn.
Ooh, can TB see any sort of spell focus, or is this just innate powers?
You can indeed. Around his neck, almost like a pendant or an emblem, a necklace sort of thing, but it's actually a tattoo around the neck, and it was only visible once he went into his real changeling form. It's this sort of, it looks like it's a tattooed on necklace, and then down in the center is this this very complicated design. That seems to be the thing that is drawing his, it's almost Iron Man right in the chest. That seems to be where he's getting his power from.
It is a tattoo, or it looks like a tattoo?
It is either a tattoo or a skin marking of some kind.
Okay. God damn it. All right. She will say, I wonder where I can cut you to steal the wind from you. And she'll run. She'll fly and
All
try
right.
and slice.
With his aura, you're trying to get into his range. You need to succeed in a dex save to do so.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 17. So.
Oh yeah, that succeeds.
17 plus 7.
You are in. You push through the wind. The wind is your friend. Pushing against it, like when you're trying to cross a raging river, you know to swim upstream so that you end up drifting into the place you're actually going to. You do that with the wind. You drift right up to him as he's got his arms outstretched, summoning the wind. What are you going to cut him? Right across the chest?
Yeah.
As you
Try and
pass through, it
try and
does smell
break.
like farts, just so you know, as you pass through.
Yeah, as you're passing through. Smell. Seamus's hat hits you in the face as you fly. You get close enough, make your attack.
Okay. The first one is a shoot. What is my I rolled a 16 plus 8. 16 plus 8. Help, Matt.
That definitely hits. 24.
Okay. Now this would not be sneak attack, right? Because I'm at
No, you did not have advantage on the attack, and no one's in melee
Right.
with him.
Okay. So that is just that's 7.
7.
And
He's now looking wounded.
she'll do the same twirly move and come around from behind and try and slice the other side, like to disconnect the tattoo.
All right.
So that is 12.
12 will miss, unfortunately, with the wind. As you struck down this way, your hand was going with the wind and it helped. Now you go around the other side and you're striking down against the wind and it just kind of slows the thing down that it hits him but doesn't do enough damage. At the end of your turn, you are pushed back by his wind aura 10 feet back.
He'll just say, "Fuck you!"
It is now Windward's turn. TB's not looking wounded yet. Regina is. He is going to. He hasn't. I just rolled and he hasn't got his area of effect thing back, so he's going to focus on Regina. He moves down towards you, Regina. flying past TB. TB, you get an attack of opportunity as he does enter and leave your melee range.
That's right. That is a 17.
17 is enough to hit. Roll damage.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 1, so that's a 6.
6 points of damage. It all helps. He is looking wounded. He's having a harder time holding it together, but he leaves your melee range, comes down to sort of ground level in range of Regina. He swings his hand over the head like he's going with a mace or a flail or something. There's nothing actually in his hand until he brings it over his head. There's like a swirling vortex appears behind him, solidifies into this mist weapon, whack, which he's going to bludgeon you with. He's going to try to, nat 20. So, this is going to hurt, to say the least. Because in my games, nat 20s on critical hits, you maximize the damage that you could have rolled, and then you roll on top of it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So that's going to be... And then, I mean, thankfully I rolled poorly on that one.
Eat shit, Regina!
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
At least we won't have to hear you complain about your husband anymore.
Okay, I'm dead. I'm unconscious. I'm at
You're
0.
unconscious but not dead, right? It didn't take you below your maximum.
No,
Whack!
no, it
And he
didn't.
says,
I'm dead.
as you fall, he goes, "That would have saved a lot on legal fees. I should have done that from the start." And then he looks around the battlefield and he doesn't see Evelyn, and he sees TB. He doesn't see Seamus. You're still invisible, right?
Oh yeah, super invisible.
He's going to use the rest of his movement to take back up, fly back into an off the ground location, a little bit further away from your TB, but still within your movement range. It is the end of his turn. Evelyn, it's your turn as you are surrounding him.
So he's just gonna hear on the wind, "I've always loved you, but you shouldn't have fucked around." I'm just gonna cast Scorching Ray. She's like,
Yes!
just gonna like appear in front of him out of the fucking mist form and free ray straight to the.
All
raise
right,
just
roll
to the
them.
chest there.
Roll those damage. Roll those attacks.
All right, first attack. First attack is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
You want me to do hits first and then damage?
Yeah, let's see how many hit first.
Another 22
Hits.
Oh.
and a 19.
19 hits. All 3 hit. Roll the damage. That's going to be what?
Right.
66?
66, yeah.
Hell
Average
hath no
of,
fury.
average of 21 damage.
5 and a 6 on the first one. So
Oh boy.
11, 9, 8. So 28
28.
points of fire damage.
Well above average. 28 points of fire damage. Takes
Rare.
him to... Holy
Shouldn't have
shit.
fucked around.
Love it.
Hey, Evelyn. Grab the kill.
I love it.
That was so much. I thought he was like getting to the verge where I was like, he can probably take one more and then he's going to try and scalp her and you're going to have to chase him down. And you're like, nah, just straight up kill him.
Yeah, so like I said, she just sort of appears out of the mist and just like point blank, both
You
her
see his-
hands out.
You see his face, like he's like happy to see you materialize in the wind, and he's like,
Yeah.
maybe we can have a life together. Boom, point blank.
Yeah, but just point blank just blows a hole through his chest where the little marking would be.
Yeah, it scorches around the chest, cutting the little necklace tattoos off of the chest tattoo, severing the connection to it. It sets fire to his shoulders, which are holding up even through the torrent of the wind blowing around him. His face goes into a sense of shock and almost betrayal. Before the wind almost immediately dies, the cloud starts to disperse, the rain drops, and his body falls backwards. Boom! Slams with a crack onto the ground. We are not yet out of initiative though, because it is Seamus's turn, and then Regina, if she rolls badly, could end up not coming around from this.
Seamus will. So we yeah, okay. So Seamus will stab in the neck.
You're rushing over and you just see Seamus just appear, materialize next to his pot, his cauldron stuffed with gold, and sitting on top of that gold, 2 little teacup poodles, as he materializes with a dagger in the throat of this guy who's still kind of smoldering at the chest.
I thought you meant Regina. I was like, holy fuck, this is an evil campaign.
I mean, I assumed you meant Windward one, but this is an evil campaign after all.
Look,
You give the inspiration.
technically, if I kill Regina, I get to keep the dogs.
You do.
I'm so sorry I said this out loud, Jess.
Unbelievable. Do
Look.
Regina dirty.
It's the end of an evil one shot. If you're ever going to
It is
kill
the end of
another
an evil
character,
one shot.
this would
And
be the
honestly-
time to do it.
All right, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna let the dice decide. First person in chat, roll a d20. If it's higher than 10, I'm gonna go for the guy. If it's lower than 10, I'm gonna go for Regina.
What if it is a 10?
If it is a 10,
Kill them
I will be frozen with choice paralysis.
12.
Is it 12?
Is it 12?
Oh, was the
That's
first,
12 was
yeah.
the first
All right,
one.
I kill the guy.
You walk between the two of them, and you're like, man, these dogs are cute. I could probably get a lot from on the back.
That's exactly it. It's like, man, these dogs are cute. Okay. The
You
book club.
Finish that guy off in the
For the
neck.
book club.
Yeah.
Then Regina, I need a death saving throw from you.
Okay, let's do it. 18.
18. That is one success. All right,
Nice.
the lair actions no longer happen. TB.
TV will run up to the dead body, yelling, "Give me your wind!" And she will just start trying to carve, open his body up to try and get whatever powers she can.
Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Okay.
I'll try and help with like a crowbar and try and pop open his ribcage.
It's 12.
12 is a failure, which is what you needed. As you are basically, there is something else that is going into your body, and your wisdom was just trying to fight it back. Thankfully for you, and what you wanted, your wisdom was not enough to fight it off, so it seeps into you. You see this sort of wind-like essence, a soul leaving his body, but it's leaving through that chest tattoo. You feel a searing burning, however. You take 4 points of fire damage as a tattoo sears itself into your chest and then starts to seek its way up towards your shoulders. It is Windward's dead. Evelyn?
Evelyn is then gonna spit on the floor. Fly over to Regina.
You flying over to Regina. You see her clutching this vine of good berries.
Looks at the vine.
Fuck
She
you.
pulls out a dagger.
Fuck you.
You fucked my
Around
husband.
on my husband, huh? She's gonna plunge it into her throat.
All right. I don't normally allow PvP unless both parties are cool with it. Regina, are you cool with this for storytelling purposes? You, Evelyn plunges this dagger into Regina's throat, having killed the two fuckers that were cheating on you. We are now out of initiative order. TV, you take another 4 points of damage as the rest of the tattoo meets around the back, and as it meets around the back, you feel the surge of strength and power come over you. This abilities over the wind. It's going to take some time to study them, to get them under control, but you feel like you are connected in some way to the Archfey that granted Windward these powers in the first place. And that's when you hear it's a familiar grandfather clock sound. And as this grandfather clock enters the clearing, this walking grandfather clock golem enters the clearing. Walking behind him is the captain, the warden of the prison that you escaped from. And he leans his hand out towards you, and his hand flicks into this automaton sort of Warforged-like artificer hand that sends itself out into a five-way grappling hook. And he sends his hook out to try and grab a hold of you and take you back to prison. And that is where we're going to end the session. Thank you very much for this.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah, I also imagine that Seamus just sort of looks at Evelyn stabbing Regina and just like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh, sorry, doggies. You're going to have to come with me, I guess. You'll never escape. I'm taking you back, TB, he says as he fires his hook off towards you. That's where we're ending it. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. This was a fun one-shot, a fun shot, if you will.
What an amazing experience.
Yep.
Thanks so much for that.
I hope you enjoyed the experience of having a good DM for once.
Oh my God.
I can see.
Oh no.
The burn.
You can see Dave. His reaction.
I know.
Shameless, mate. Shameless McKillicuddy.
Oh man.
Cool. Anything that you want to say, peoples, about like wrap up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, this is everyone's last chance to enter into the giveaway for a free T-shirt off of Mithril Roll's website. Exclamation point roll. Mithril Armory. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mithril
Exclamation
Armory.
mark roll.
Exclamation.
Sorry. Fuck. Stop talking.
You're doing a great job of this. It's like it's flawless.
We have always been
like you've rehearsed it. You know how.
I feel like we learned a lot today. I don't know.
ROLL.
While we're waiting for chat to do their last entries, I just want to say, first of all, thank you to Dag for coming on our show. It has been awesome. You are amazing. You can never leave. Okay, so we'll see you next Tuesday. Just kidding. Actually, wait, are you next Tuesday? Actually, oh, we will see you next Tuesday. My plan is coming true.
Yeah.
So Dag, why don't you tell them where you're from?
Oh, yeah, totally. G'day, guys. My name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. As my name implies, I am from Australia, and I do TTRPG stuff in and around the internet. I feature on a bunch of different channels, play with a whole bunch of different people who are just impressive and awesome and talented, and Careful Cantrip is one of my favorite places to be. But if you want to find where I hang out and just chill out, you can come visit me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dead Aussie Gamer, and come hang out there because we do games, we do cool things, we find paths, this kind of thing.
You should all check him out. Also, we did a shout out. Good. Okay, so now you guys have the link. You can just click it and then go follow him now if you haven't already followed him. Rob, thank you for an amazing one shot. That was so much fun. I'm glad I got to stab things. That felt really nice for a change.
Me too.
Thank you guys for allowing me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You also can never leave, so we'll see you next Tuesday.
That's fine with me. I can understand why you'd prefer me, to be honest.
No. No.
What?
Dave is the best GM ever. I'm sorry. You cannot. I have too many affiliations to Dave in many different ways.
What are we talking about? I love Dave. He's just not good at things.
All right. You don't even get to talk about yourself.
Prove me wrong, Dave. Come on some game shows. Of course, I'm just joking. I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I'm a dungeon master by trade. This is what I do for a living, which is bizarre, but I make it work. I am the dungeon master for a comedy group called Viva la Dirt League. You can find our ongoing campaign over on YouTube. Unlike a lot of other actual plays, they're only half-hour episodes, so super easy to binge watch. They're mostly focused on the comedy aspect as well, so you don't need to be worrying about like, oh, what's happened in the story so far. You can just jump in and start enjoying them. You can also find me in my own right as Robert Hartley GM everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. I stream several hours a week doing D&D related content, reading D&D books, and doing an interactive game called Twitch Tales, where the chat actually get to control the actions of the player. All of that sort of thing. And then from time to time, I have some incredible friends from the community who, for reasons unknown to me, keep inviting me to do things for them, like stepping and GMing stuff. I have a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys have had some fun with it too. If you've liked what you've seen today, consider giving me a follow on Twitch. Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Should we roll that? Do we roll the gift giveaway thing now? Or?
Yeah.
So it's about that time.
Absolutely, but disembodied voice here, chat. Just
Hell.
want to do one other quick shout out to Rob, where you can catch him if he accepts my challenge of Twitch's first DM off.
Oh boy.
Are you sure you want to do that?
It's hashtag Team Dave, bud.
Damn it, it really was. Hashtag Team Dave.
Has
If I
Dave,
hadn't
has
have
Dave
voted
won
for you in
any
that
of the
popularity
contests that
competition-
he's instigated?
I don't know. Did he win any at Fungeon Fuad?
I don't remember.
I win them all.
Fuad?
I win them
Did he
all.
win? Did he win when he was on my dash?
I don't remember.
Or did I have to bring him back with a bribe to the rest of the team?
I feel like
to
he
bring him
died.
back?
I think he
I feel
died.
like he
I don't
did.
know if you
Anyway,
could die.
I will definitely accept your challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Challenge
Oh,
offered and
Dad,
accepted.
please.
Rules
sure
of
what it
engagement.
entails.
Rules of engagement will be determined.
Yeah.
Pistols at dawn.
Watch,
gonna work it out.
watch out. Watch out. We'll be going through the gauntlet, but thank you so much for coming on, Rob. We really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me on. Anytime.
Okay.
And I'm back in a week for as a player in AJ's campaign.
Oh.
which is gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
Oh, I need to talk about that. So next week, come back, same time, 8 p.m. EST. We have AJ Winter's Tales here DMing. It is going to be awesome. She is doing her own type of game. I don't know if I should spoil it, but I won't, just in case.
But I will.
Gonna play Monopoly.
Yeah, so come back next Tuesday because it's going to be awesome. Also, Bobby and I are doing Talk Artive tomorrow, like usual, 9:30, and our usual world building with DM Dave on Sundays. Let's do this giveaway now. Exciting drum roll.
please.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Okay, so Joe, congratulations on winning your
Congrats.
pick of any Mithril t-shirt in their shop. What you should do is you should join our Discord or message me here on Twitch. Either way, find a way to reach me. My name is Rayna. So I'll just type in chat. Hi, you can message me here, or you can join our Discord and find me in there. And we'll work out the logistics. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay. I think, are we going to do some rating? We're going to do some rating. Or we're going to do some rating too. What? Okay, we are going to raid Legends of Evantris. I hope I pronounced that right. We are going to do our usual hashtag CC love raid because we don't do hate raids, and we will share our love with them. So thank you all, everybody. Thank you again to Dag. Thank you to Bobby and Jess as well.
Whatever.
Yeah, fuck you. And thank you again, Rob, for coming. It was
You're welcome.
super fun. Great pleasure.
And
All right.
and always be careful, brackets out there, because you close brackets can trip.
Awful. And don't fuck around on Evelyn.
Oh, I get it. It's the name of the show.
Yeah, careful cantrip.
Oh
But there's
my
like
God.
a bunch of words in the middle of the
Oh.
outro, so you gotta
Wow.
make sure you sort of get rid of those middle words.
Mhm.
I wouldn't
Otherwise
have
the
got
outro
it had
doesn't
you not
really work.